And hello, Internet! Welcome to Land Beyond the Mist. This is session 30, I believe, the big 30. I am excited to have all of you here this weekend. It has been a long week for me, and so it is nice to just play some D&D and, relax a little bit. So I'm going to hand it over to our party members here to introduce themselves and their characters, and we'll jump into it and play some sweet D&D. Let's just go in camera order and start with good old Coron.
Hey everybody, I'm Goron. I've been around before, so you probably know me. I'm bringing Talise back to the table. And Talise is a dastardly rogue, who probably thinks she's a little bit more clever than she actually is.
All right. Well, welcome back. I always appreciate having you play with us. And let's go to Discourse Bot.
Yeah, hey, I'm Discourse Bot. Happy to be back. I'm bringing Grand, the wizard and wandering potion maker, to the table. Yeah, he's in the mist to research his potion making, especially which is focused on poisons as helpful ingredients in potions, and of course his necromantic research. And yeah, especially the latter, we'll hopefully see some interesting developments.
All right. Excellent. And we'll go over to Mr. Underground.
Hello, I'm Mr. Underground, and today I'll be playing Hart Fuller, an ex-soldier traveling vagabond here to claim power, wealth, and influence to hopefully build up what he once lost some time ago before he arrived. What better way than to solve a riddle?
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, Shadow.
Hi, I'm Shadow, Scarlet Shadow on Twitch, Shadow054 in Discord. Today, I'll be bringing back Fizzle Spark Mick Awesome Sauce. The small-statured but big-hearted gnome who just, he's just lovable. Nobody can fault him in any way, I'm sure. Definitely because he thinks he's smarter than everybody else around him. Today, he'll be out in search of more minions to help serve his cause, and hopefully one day bring the Squirrel King to the mess.
All right, excellent. With that, I heard there was some preparation on the introduction to the mission. So, Mr. Grand, I have brought this party together to solve a riddle that has been scratched into the job board by a flowing hand. Tell me, what is it that drew you to this mission, and how did you bring your motley crew together?
All right, so I just want to pull back a bit, explain the setting from Grand's view at least. So just last week we had a session, and I'm assuming this happens either right after or very shortly after. And basically, yeah, Grand arrived in Rhymeview from the Sepulchre where they had their mission. And he was immediately greeted with suspicion and hostility, especially from the guilds that, normally just employ him. And but he quickly found out that the reason for this was that rumors had been spread about his group and that they had gained entrance to the Rhymeview Sepulchre and just looted the entire place. But these rumors didn't mention anything of them defeating the undead former king in his tomb and all the skeletons that he raised, or also them having left the rest of the sepulchre completely untouched. So these rumors lead Grand to believe that it's the current king and his co-conspirators that are behind these rumors, because they're trying to discredit the adventurers by just branding them as grave robbers, and in an attempt to prevent the truth of the former king's murder from spreading, because that is something we found out after destroying this undead former king. And, Grand, he's always tried to really keep a low profile, and for this mission, he was only really interested in the necromantic aspect, of a undead king and the skeletons he's raising. But at the same time, he realizes that politicking and intrigue is, what part of what makes societies work, and it's almost impossible to not get caught up in it one way or the other. So, having learned that another thing that he learned on that mission or from the Undead King is that there's powerful necromancers in Cragmorn that were behind the raising of this Undead King. And so, he wants to visit them, and this will also allow him at the same time to leave Rhymeview for a bit and, until things cool down a bit. Because, another thing he knows about societies is that their attention span is short. The next intrigue or rumor is sure to come. It's just around the corner. So, yeah, he wants to, leave town a bit. And he saw these scratchings on the board, and it said that it was a bit a riddle, obviously, but it did say it was south of the bay. So and he knows that Cragmorn is south of the bay as well. So he resolved to go there, maybe solve a riddle, and visit Cragmorn. And because he kind of needs to leave town quickly, he just looked around the tavern, and who did he see?
I'm assuming your friends.
Haha! He sees Fizzle Spark McAwesome Sauce sitting at the bar, up on a high stool, because that actually puts him at a height elevation equal or better than everybody else around him, if he can. And I think he's looking over the corner of Talise, who has these maps spread out across her table, and taking a good bit of interest, but trying to be inconspicuous and probably failing miserably.
So Talise is just like looking over these maps, and Talise has no expertise in map making or how maps work, or she's not, as much as she might think she is, she's not terribly clever. She's just seeing like a whole bunch of lines. She's like, I don't know what these lines mean on this map. And she's just staring down at these charts of the Shrouded Coast, and just like, none of this makes any sense to her. She can tell it's the Shrouded Coast, but what are the lines? She doesn't know.
At that point, a beer stein slams down on the table right next to the map as Fizzle Spark, sensing your frustration, brings you a drink and says, "Hey, what do you have there? Can I take a look?" And then I believe we start a conversation about the map that we see in front of us as Mr. Underground's character does what?
He's probably like in the side just watching this wizard Gron, the obsession with all the rumors about going on, just quietly like looking on. It's probably like just us four in the tavern, notably as notable individuals. And like, yeah, some people are at the table doing something with maps, but I have not been approached yet.
Yeah, so I think Gron, seeing the two fellows looking over their charts, he comes over to them and says, "Hey, do you guys want to maybe put these charts into use? I have a little trip south of the bay that we could do."
Is it the riddle?
It is the riddle.
Oh, it's the riddle. I'm in.
So
Riddle?
I guess then, Gron looks over it looks at us, seeing that none of us are really, the frontline types. And then he sees the knight in shining armor in the corner and says, this is, how about you? Are you in?
Well, you turn to see Hart wearing his immaculate Queen's cuirass he got from King Tradra and her lands, and he walks over and says, "I heard a riddle. Don't tell me you're all actually wanting to go down there, or wherever it leads."
Oh,
Well, I plan on going south anyway, so I think it's a good idea to maybe earn some coin while we're there, right?
trade winds, though. Trade winds are normally like out into long distance travel, right? And they don't normally swirl, right? Am I wrong?
I
There's
mean,
a
you
lot
are
of
not wrong. You're not
spinning.
wrong. The instructions are pretty vague. It says trade winds in the south. That could be anything from the Golden Oasis to Rustport to Shimmer Harbor to Cragmorn. So, if we look at the scratchings, do we see anything else than this known?
No. The riddle itself is all that is scratched into the wood.
I was hoping I could learn something by looking at these charts,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't make any sense to me. Do they make any sense to any of you?
I will just come up and point to a few of these cities on the southern coast of either Rustport. He'll point first for Rustport and then the Shimmer Harbor. Trade winds means, well, just trade. No other place to do it than any of the coastal ports. If that's where you want to look.
Fizzle Spark will immediately point to Shimmer Harbor and say, trade winds. The greatest trade market in the entire coast is here. Wind swirling. Why not on a dock, by a boat? But don't leave this too literally. I've literally seen a number of hulks behind. It's not sharp. It's round and gross.
So we don't need to be very sharp, is what you're saying.
A riddle is a riddle in and of itself. You can't believe anything it says, but we should go there anyway. Let's go.
Very well.
You think it's the Shimmer Harbor? Not Three Sisters Isle, where all the long-distance travel comes in?
I'll look at
but Three Sisters Isle isn't south enough, I would say, at least.
How much south is too much south?
We'll point to the bottom of the map and be like, there.
You are correct.
I would agree as well.
So, Greg, I do have these charts of the coast that I got from a previous adventure.
You do, yes.
And they have a sort of consumable fashion where one of them might tell us something about something that gets us somewhere in the travel phase, right?
Absolutely.
I was hoping that maybe one of them could be a map of sort of the winds and how the winds of the seas
Absolutely.
appear.
Yeah, go ahead and consume one use of your maps. And sure enough, you have a map that marks the wind's like usual trajectories in and around the Shimmer Harbor. And the Shimmer Harbor shows the winds have a tendency to become trapped in that kind of bay. I'll turn over to the map here for our Twitch. As you can see, there's this like kind of large inlet here in the bay itself, as the ships are known to kind of cross these shallow waters in between the two kind of small isles here. And the winds tend to be trapped here. They are known to swirl and whip. It is often recommended to bring oarsmen, as you can't rely on the winds to propel you through Shimmer Harbor.
That's an excellent find, and yeah, I mean these wind lines that Talise points out, and Grand looks at it. Yes, that's a really good find. It looks like this is the place where trade winds would swirl. So I would.
Oh, those are wind lines?
Yes.
Well, that makes our job easier.
So what do you say? Should we charter a ship? Or do you want to maybe take care of a few things in town first?
Yes,
Well,
I have business with the council.
Seeing how we'll be traveling by ship, it's the easiest route to go. I have something that might maybe help us with our journey if any turns towards Fizzlespark. If you can help me real quick. You said council.
Yes. What do you
Well,
have?
I've done quite a few favors with them. It seems I haven't done much as you. Been quite active over there. I wonder if you can help pull a few strings for me.
So you need me to get you some help and get this thing you have there identified or sussed out?
Yes, it seems you've noticed. He pulls out this gem-encrusted golden leaf astrolabe from his person. This is a thing I
This is
picked up on the
sparkle.
journey.
I'll hold my
You
hand
can
out.
look. Don't look through it.
You said I could
mean,
look, then you said I couldn't look. What do you mean?
Don't look through the lens.
I snatch it really quick as soon as you start saying something else and march my way off to the council, hoping you're behind me because
Oh,
you're
he
planning
is.
on you're planning on paying for the identification.
You assume correctly.
I'll yell back, Grand Talise, are you going to get a ship?
Yeah, Grand will try to stay away from all the guilds because he's kind of a persona non grata at the moment. So yeah, he will follow Talise to the harbor and hope she can suss out something with the ship
All
and
right.
the harbor monster.
Our party splits. One down to the harbor to find transportation for their mission, and the other to the Arcanium Council. Let's start with the Arcanium Council as Fizzlespark and Hart make their way to the large tower in the residential district. Inside the tower, you find the library in a bit of a busy season. Lots of people researching little cubby holes. There's hot drinks being passed around. Seems like they have some kind of event going on. But eventually you will find the attention of one Nyx Rose, the barefooted fortune teller that runs the front of house here for the Arcanium Council. As you march in with a gleaming astrolabe in hand, she eyes kind of perk up, looking at you, and then to the astrolabe and back to you, says, "Oh, what treasure have you brought in today?"
We don't know, Nyx, and that's why we come seeking your aid. We would like this, if possible, to be identified by the council. What is the cost for such service?
Oh, that would be 100 gold pieces.
Without any further word from Fizzlespark, like a servant, Hart will pull out a pouch of coins, begins like pulling out like stacks of them, neatly like bundled together. 25, 50, 75, 100. And it's like all balanced at the top.
I will take 10 back and hand it to you and be like, "Oh, sir, I have a discount with the council due to my great works and large accomplishments."
That is true.
Fantastic.
That is true. She counts back 10 coins to you, says, "And we thank you for those great works." She uses a magic hand to kind of transfer them to a small pouch you can hear jingling below the counter. She takes the item from you and kind of looks it over and says, "I will have this back to you shortly, at least within the hour." She whispers some magic words, and it kind of floats its way up into the stairway itself and makes its way up the tower. As you sit and wait, hot drinks are passed around to you. It seems there is some hot cider that is quite heavily spiced being passed around the tavern. Tell me, are you partakers in heavily spiced ciders?
It is a luxury.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I would like each of you to make me wisdom saving throws.
Love it.
Wisdom.
Half of the party's already getting taken out before we leave the harbor.
Ignore the +2. I have an 11.
An
That's a
11
30.
and a 3. Hart, there's something a little off about this cider, and you get a few sips through, and underneath the heavily spiced, flavors of it, you just kind of you leave it to the side. It's not to your taste. But Fizzlespark, you pound through this, excited at the spiced drink in front of you. As it warms through your body, you feel your mind expand. For the rest of this session, please take a +2 to your intelligence, your attribute of intelligence. You will also have disadvantage on all wisdom saves.
Totally okay.
All right. What do you see as your mind expands, Fizzlespark? What this hot cider that you've imbued? What is it like for you?
As my mind expands, I start seeing the lines of the earthen elements through the area. I see the wind looking a little sharper. I see the lines in the fire as they go. I see ripples in the water. I see the grains in the earth. And as I see that, I take a look at the fire in front of me and pull out a marshmallow. I start roasting it to go with my cider as I get further insights into a project I've been working on.
Ooh.
And as I say this, I will ask Nyx, I have 2 other pieces of business while we wait for this astrolabe to be returned.
Oh,
1,
yes.
I have a purchase that I need to make from the council, and 2, I need to use the library.
Oh,
And
well.
then if there's any more of this cider, I might need to use the restroom as well. It's delicious. But it's very hard.
She says, well, I will, of course, show you to the restroom should you need it. You say you have business with our council here, the purchase in mind. Well, what can we sell
Yes.
to you?
I would like to purchase a Pearl of Power, Greg.
Oh, very nice. The Pearl of Power is a unique item to the Arcanium Council. And with your discount, she tells you that it will only cost you 50 gold pieces.
Oh, hey, I will instantly hand over 50 gold pieces and accept that item.
Excellent.
It is a Pearl of Power for a level 1 spell slot. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. And she has like a small engraved box. She opens it up and you can see there are a number of pearls in there. And she kind of slides it over around to you and like lets you pick out the one that is most to your taste. They, resonate from small pinks to purples. They have like some larger, some smaller. They're all effective as a pearl of power, but you get to pick the one to your taste as you peruse.
I will
the
definitely
pearls.
take the largest purple pearl that is in there.
Excellent. Yeah, it's as big as your eye. It's just enormous pearl. And
One day
it
this
is
might be
yours.
my eye, Greg. We'll see.
Okay. With that done, she says, and you need the library? It's a little full at the moment. Do you need a place to study, or are you looking to check out?
I'm looking to check out. We
Oh.
should be heading to the Shimmer Harbor, and I'm looking for a book on the inlets and the isles and any history of the Shimmer Harbor itself.
History of the Shimmer Harbor. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Give me just a moment, and I will find you a tome of the Shimmer Harbor's history. She's gone for but a few minutes and comes back with a whole cart of books on the history of the Shimmer Harbor. Allows you to select the one that most closely aligns with your desire. Go ahead and mark one book. You can spend it to gain advantage on any check related to the histories of the Shimmer Harbor, so long as you have the time to check the book ahead of rolling the dice. All right.
Got it.
With that business
That's
taken
everything for
care
me.
of, the astrolabe comes floating back down in front of a robed wizard, the long dark black beard braided in multiple places, with silver and gold rings. You can see his face is painted on half, with a constellation on the right side of his face. The other side of his face is unpainted. And as he approaches, he wiggles his fingers and lets the astrolabe just kind of settle down in front of you, Hart. He says, "You have found a very interesting treasure indeed. It seems this is a prison of sorts. To look through the astrolabe, it will grant you a vision of a treasure beyond imagine, but it will attempt to imprison you inside of it until such time as you can give away the entirety of the treasure. A very devious device indeed. Perhaps there is a way to circumvent its imprisonment, but I was unable to ascertain it myself. I bid you be very careful with this, as who knows how long it might take to rid yourself of the curse and free yourself from the prison."
I thank you.
I thank you.
Look, another one of my fellows, when we discovered it, did, but he seemed fine. A bit weirded.
Interesting. I think it might have to do with the alignment of the stars, then. Perhaps he only viewed it in the day?
I believe so.
Yes. An astrolabe must work with the stars. I think that its magic is tied to them. So perhaps using it in the daylight would be okay.
I give you my thanks. He'll slowly grab the astrolabe with both his hands and put it back in his armored coat pocket, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. The wizard kind of bows awkwardly, clearly unused to doing so, and then makes his way back up the tower without another word. So, does this conclude our time with the Arcanium Council?
As for me,
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll grab another mug of cider for the room.
All right. Yes. The little gnome's room is in the back, should you need it. Talise and Gron, during this time you were looking for a ship. Is there anything else you were doing at the harbor, or were you merely trying to procure your travel for the mission?
Yeah, Grond is mostly just trying to stay in the shadows. He has his cloak hood pulled over his head and his armor. He's trying to cover his armor with the cloak, but yeah.
You can tell Talise is just like super not comfortable being the person that has the better reputation. And yeah, so I guess she'll go around and procure them passage on a boat. I didn't have anything else in particular to do with
absolutely. You can do that. Passage on a boat is going to cost you, I believe, 25 gold pieces each. Let me double check my numbers here. Yeah, 25 GP for sailing. If you pay the 25 gold pieces, you can find yourselves a nice sturdy ship sailing close to the Shimmer Harbor. It is not as big as the normal ships that will oftentimes make routes to Rustport or to Shallows Rest, as Shimmer Harbor is a much shallower water, around kind of some coral and some like the stones in the water that give it its shimmering kind of quality. The boat is lighter. It will make it across the ocean, but it is definitely a little bit of a more difficult journey than normal. As you have purchased the boat, are we ready to enter our travel phase and go, or is there any last minute things that you'd like to take care of in town? All right, excellent. So we know where you are going with your journey. It is down to Shimmer Island. Is there a specific point, or Shimmer Harbor? Is there a specific point on the harbor you would like to go to, or are you just trying to make landfall as easily as possible?
Grond?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah. But one thing, to keep in mind is that hopefully we might extend the journey further than
all right. So you're
afterwards.
going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hexes, it looks like. I don't know why my arrow doesn't show up on the map. That's interesting. I guess the GM...
It did for me.
It did for you? Okay, just not on the...
we see it, just not stream.
Just not stream. Okay, fair enough. So it looks like a 9-hex journey. You will travel on a sailing ship at 6 hexes per day. So this is just over a day's travel, maybe a day and a half, should everything go well. As you prepare to leave, what I would like to know is who among you will take which travel role?
Grond will take the scout role.
You will take the scout role. Excellent.
Talise is the lookout.
Talise will be the lookout. Excellent.
Fizzle Spark will be the guide.
The guide. Wonderful.
And Hart will be the pack rat.
Okay, excellent. So, Mr. Hart, we'll start with you in town, as you are the provisioner for the party. You've chosen to pack rat. You will be able to purchase the equipment and the rations and water that you need for the journey. As you do so, you know you have about a day and a half travel should everything go well. what are the rations that you are looking to purchase for the journey?
Well, seeing how we'll be only bringing one animal, his favorite camel named Camilla,
Yeah.
as well as the four for us, he's just getting enough dried meats and fruits for the journey on water and maybe on land as well.
Okay. So about 2 days of rations or more than that?
I think just for this boat journey, because we might start a new journey after, it'll just
Okay.
be 3 days. Sounds
Okay.
good?
Yeah, absolutely. So for 3 days, that is going to cost you 1 GP for
13.
each of your party members and 5 silver pieces for your camel. So that's going to be 12 gold pieces plus 1 gold piece and 5 silver pieces for the animals. So 13
Already done.
gold pieces and 5 silver in total.
It is done.
Yeah, and Grand will open his bag of holding and put all the rations in there.
All right. Pack riding is done.
Greg, I have a question.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever asked this. On a ship journey, is it 25 gold pieces for the party or 25 gold pieces per
person.
per person? Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody need help with travel costs? Nope. Fantastic.
All right. Excellent. With that, I do want to know, after you leave the ship, Art, is anybody going to be encumbered by carrying these rations? Okay. Well,
No, I mean, yeah,
are
we
they
have
going
my
on
bag
the
of
camel? Where are they going?
No, they go in my bag of holding, and the
Oh.
bag of holding then goes on the camel. But it only
Perfect.
weighs 15 pounds.
All right, I like it. Then we will start setting off to sail with the party here. I am in need of a quick break here, guys. I apologize. We have not been streaming all that
Okay.
long. But I'm going to take us to our break screen so I can run off real fast. I will be right back, everybody. And hello, Internet. I apologize for the quick break. We are back now. I am feeling better. And let us continue our travel phase. Our party was just setting out to the Shimmer Harbor to help solve a riddle there. And the excuse me, the party is provisioned well, held in the bag of holding, and ready to continue on. So, in the travel phase here, as you push off from the docks, the boat making its way through the 3 Mile Isles and then out to sea proper. I would like to hear from our scout. Mr. Scout, you are responsible for making sure that your party arrives at their destination timely without getting lost or stuck or broken down on the journey. You do have some help here on the sailing ship, as there are navigators and such to help out. But please describe for me your efforts to keep the party on track, either on land or by sea, as you are trying to prevent them from being waylaid, broken down, or otherwise turned around.
Yeah, I think on the ship, I mean, since we already have a navigator from the normal crew, I think the most important thing a scout could do is, keep an eye out for the weather patterns, the sea patterns, like currents and the like.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's what he does. He uses his knowledge of nature and also with the help of his owl, to get a better view of the horizon. Yeah.
All right. You spend your time looking at nature, the tides, the weather, making sure that you're not caught by surprise on a storm or something that might set you back. Go ahead and roll me nature intelligence. As you are sailing, you will have advantage on this check. Excellent. That is a 24. I don't even need to read you your DC. You have nailed it. Please mark inspiration for your successful scouting as you make sure to navigate your party through the changing tides and past any troublesome storms that might be brewing on the horizon. Your party will not get lost, stuck, or otherwise waylaid during this expedition. Excellent. The boat pushes off into the sea proper. You no longer see the islands and the coastlines around you. You now just see the open ocean in all directions here on the bay. You're sailing straight as an arrow towards Shimmer Harbor. You know that it will be a rather quick journey. So I would like to check in with our guide, Mr. Fizzlespark. Your job here is to stave off the labors of the journey. Make sure your party doesn't get exhausted or worn down by the journey itself. Please describe to me how you avoid or stave off these labors.
Well, very simply, Greg, the best way to not get exhausted is to take the most direct and straightest path there. Less time to get tired, less time to get injured, less time to get worried. And I will do so by consulting Talise's map and consulting my book on the Shimmer Harbor, as I am a researcher, and I will go ahead and do everything I possibly can to find the quickest and most fortuitous path through the area. I would like to argue a history check to guide the party.
Sure. Please make me a history check. Your base DC as a guide will be 15. You will have advantage for sailing on your ship, as well as for the tools that you are using here as well.
19. Does this expend my charge of the book of history on the Shimmer Harbor? Or is this just the map?
No, I will let you keep that if
Okay.
you would like. This is kind of a... I guess you're using the navigational charts at the very least. Like they would help you. But you can keep that for an additional roll. You rolled a 19, you said?
Yes, it did.
I don't see it. Odd.
It has
I
popped
can
up
see
to me.
Oh, no, there it is on my GM one. Why is it not on this one?
Seems like the client didn't receive it.
Yeah, interesting.
It's on my client, though. I can see it.
There's a 19. Okay, I have refreshed the roll 20. Please mark inspiration for your successful navigation. You work with the captain of the ship and his navigators. You use the old charts that you found, or that Corin has found. You consult your book from time to time, and you keep yourself on the shortest journey possible, making sure that your party will not be overburdened and exhausted on their journey. Excellent. You are pulling through the ocean waters, now kind of slowing down for the evening as most of the crew tries to get some sleep as they work in different shifts. The night sky is full of stars, and I'd like to check in with our lookout here as you are traveling to the Shimmer Harbor, Talise. You are responsible for making sure that no strange creatures or enemies sneak up on you, surprise the party, and leave you hurting. So please describe to me your efforts to keep a sharp eye out for the potential dangers on your journey.
Liz has found that she's been making a lot of water journeys these days.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like we're out on a boat here every time that she leaves her room. So she's well acquainted with like how to go around, and she's like going and even like going a bit over the rails and over the edge of the deck and looking down, looking for any creatures in the water. She'll use her invisible mage hand to steal the little eyeglass from the lookout of the ship to try to get a longer view on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just doing everything that she can to manage spotting threats from all possible vantages.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception wisdom check as you're keeping as sharp an eye out as possible. Your base DC will be 12, but you will have advantage on your roll. That is an 18. Brilliant. Please mark inspiration as you keep a sharp eye out and know that your efforts will allow you to not be surprised by any dangers that you find on your journey. Mr. or Miss Talese, would you roll me a D6 for a potential discovery?
Absolutely.
That is a discovery indeed. So this evening, while the ship is making its way slowly through the waters, as it is more difficult to move quickly at night, and the crew needs some time to sleep, you notice a glittering off the side of this ship. As you look down there seems to be a shallow portion of the waters, and below you, you can just make out what appears to be some kind of half-buried treasure chest in the waters below you. It seems to be probably a good 100 feet or so down, but the water that you're currently sailing through is very clear. And you can see all the way down through it, past a few schools of fish and like barnacled and like growing with the sea life at the bottom of the sea. As you notice this, what do you do? What do you make of this half submerged treasure?
Oi, Hart! Get the ropes!
Drop the anchor.
Hart will
Alright.
rush to grab a coil of rope.
Grond will drop the anchor.
Okay. You bring the boat to a stop and you gather ropes as you stare down the edge. The rest of the party sees this half buried and submerged chest.
I
Who here's a strong swimmer?
Not
hold
me.
my breath for quite a while.
Need somebody to go and tie that chest to some rope so we can haul it up.
Are there any fishes down there? See any?
There are a few schools of fish kind of swimming by back and forth, seemingly unaware of you staring down at them through the crystal clear waters.
No bigger ones?
You don't see any at the moment. Nope.
All right. Hart will begin unstrapping his heavy cuirass armor. Begins like putting his backpack on the deck of the ship.
Okay.
Ugh.
Attach a rope to yourself so we can pull you up if something goes wrong.
It's 100 feet down. I think the ship does have enough rope.
Yeah, it's a
50
ship. I'm sure there are plenty of ropes that you can coil together to make your way down.
This'll
We can leave him a tip.
Spark will reach to his side and hand over to Hart a wooden leg and says, in case of emergencies, you can use this to get yourself back on the ship. You'll have to get above the water first. If something's chasing you, just push the button.
Where's the button? As he like looks around.
I will show you the button and how to activate Greybeard's peg leg.
Mm-hmm.
It is essentially a grappling hook
All
that
right.
shoots you 20 feet up.
So do that when I'm at the surface?
Yeah, if something's chasing you and you need to get back on the ship, that's how you get back on the ship. It won't help you much with the chest, but these muscles
All
are for
right.
it. Slap you on the shoulder and then once on the ass as you jump off the ship.
All right. I will take off my armor,
Uh-huh.
putting my AC to 14. I've dropped pretty much everything. I'm like tied with we have one rope that's tied to me as I go down. We have a second rope I'm gonna tie to the chest.
Okay, excellent.
Alright.
You splash your way into the water while Gron, Talise, and Fizzlespark watch on from the edge of the ship. As you swim your way down through crystal clear waters, some of the fish spook and swim away from you, leaving you fairly unmolested by anything in the water's life. You get down to a about 100-foot depth. The pressure kind of building around your head, and the water itself feeling like a bit stiff to make your way through, despite its like clear and perfect nature. As you approach the chest itself, you see it on a slant and half submerged in what can only be described as like barnacles as much as sand. It seems that the ground here is rocky and uneven, and there's growths all around you. As you approach the chest, you can see scratchings on the wood between kind of iron bars. As you look upon them, you identify these as old Sylvan text.
Looking upon it, he does not know Sylvan. He only it's not one of his languages. He'll like look around a bit to see if there's like anything at the edge of his vision first, and then look at like all these barnacles. And assuming he spots nothing, he'll like poke like the chest with the peg leg.
Yeah, you poke the chest with the peg leg. It is still sturdy even under the water here. You get a nice like kind of thunk to the peg leg as it hits solid wood and metal. You don't see much in the way of rust on the chest, other than the kind of growths of the kind of barnacle-y ground that you walk upon.
All right, he'll getting to the bottom of the seafloor. He'll like give like the chest like a singular yank to see if it can be moved, unless something's holding it down.
All right, give me a strength check as you strength athletics if you are proficient in athletics to try to pull this out from its half submerged spot.
How are we feeling about that inspiration, guys?
Yeah, I have mine.
All right.
I said it first.
Athletics for a 24.
Oh,
Hey.
the 24. You brace yourself beneath the water. You find like a handle on the half submerged part of the chest, and you yank with all your strength. For a moment, you're not sure if it's going to come out, but then with a satisfying like underwater pop, it comes free. Barnacles come sliding off of it, and you see a gap in the ground with water swirling around, and then like a gust of like rushing bubbles comes spraying out of it. Everyone at the top, you can see these bubbles rushing up to the surface as the ground around you begins to shift and change. The ground itself seems to rise in the water. You find your feet unstable as next to a heavily barnacled section near this hole, an eye opens and looks at you. What do you do, Hart?
Is he still holding the chest?
Yes.
I would start.
I have
pulling.
one hand on the chest, and this peg leg says as long it just has a reach, right? And it has to hit the AC of my target. So can I just like point up and just like aim at like part of the rope to pull me up?
You want to shoot the rope with the peg leg hook and pull yourself
At
20
the
feet
rope.
up the rope? Okay, I think that is a clever idea. I'm gonna let you make a attack roll at the rope, and I will call the rope AC 12. If you hit it, you can grapple up to it. If you miss it, the rope technique is going to be too difficult for you.
All right. Well, here's my first. I do it at a +3, so I need to hit a 9 or higher. I will barely miss as the angling just shoots off, hitting it off to the side.
Oh no!
Does an action surge allow me to try again?
Yes, by all means. You shoot. You're like, oh damn it! You like reel it back in. All right, one more time.
I'm even more off kilter. I'm panicking.
No, it's even worse this time as you shoot it off. Gron starts lifting the rope. I want you to make me an strength athletics check to pull this rope.
Can I get advantage from help of others pulling as well?
Are others pulling the rope with you?
Please, are you helping? Because I have something else I'm going to try and do here in a minute.
I mean, as much as a 9 strength halfling can, you know.
All right.
I don't know if that counts, but
you get a little bit of help from the halfling behind you. Go ahead and give me a athletic strength check at advantage.
If this doesn't work, I'm gonna start clubbing. See how that happens.
All right,
I think
you pull him up, but you only manage to pull him up 10 feet in your round. As the eye stares at you and you have this grappling hook fiasco with the rope, you look over as the ground shifts under your feet. That you're up 10 feet above him. But the ground shifts and you can see this like face, almost turtle-like in appearance, look at you, and it goes to like snap at you in the treasure chest. Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Hart, does a 19 hit you?
It does.
It does. All right, you have an option. You may either take the damage from the bite and hold on to the chest, or you can have the chest eaten by the sea turtle.
Throw me that damage.
You're going to eat that damage? All right. Please take for me 17 points of damage as the sea turtle snap just rips into your like flesh. You can feel like bones like bruising. It's a very bludgeony type snap, and it like tries to shake the treasure chest free, but in the process only damages you. As the turtle looks it up. Fizzle Spark, you said you had a plan. What were you doing?
Yes, there are other people on this ship, correct?
Oh, yeah. Most of them were trying to
Fizzle
sleep.
Spark,
Yeah.
in the effort, has roused at least one person to his attention and has tied a rope to his waist. And he is going to have them lower me down to the water. I'm a measly gnome who weighs... What do I weigh? 45 pounds, soaking wet. They can easily lower me down in the water. And I want to cast the spell Minor Illusion as I get right to the surface of the water, and I want to do a screech of sound that echoes into the water and shoots out away from the ship.
A screech of sound away from the ship. So you
underwater.
What is your goal here?
My goal is to create a sound echo away from that moves away from the ship in an effort to distract something underwater. Because I figure maybe it can hear better in water, so I'm trying to get a large sound.
You're trying to distract it in some way.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you give me an Arcana check here to use your illusion successfully in this way? I'm gonna call it DC 13 or 12. Yeah, you nailed it. Your sound screeches out through the water. You can see the turtle like swing its head in that direction. The whole like barnacle-y sand underneath like snaps up at the water here. Hart, you get an opportunity to swim some distance away as the turtle thrashes at the distraction. Go ahead and give me an athletic strength check here.
Well, first I'm gonna second wind as my blood is pumping, and I heal back to full.
Good. Oh,
beautiful.
Please
Not full, but
sees you dedicated to getting this treasure and grants you inspiration.
Ooh, very
So that'll
nice.
be 37. All right, here's an athletics check. At advantage, 21.
21. You climb through the water another 21 feet. You're successful, so I'll give you an extra 10 on top of that. So you're almost halfway up. You're about 41 feet from the bottom of the like water here, or at least from where the turtle was. You can see there's like now this big sea turtle sized like divot in the into the waters. But as you swim up, the turtle like spins away, realizing there's a distraction, and begins to swim back towards you. What are the rest of you doing?
Pull! Pull!
I'm no longer aiding with the pull, and I'm going to go all in on Fizzle Spark's idea. And I'm going to create with silent image the other part of the illusion we need here, which is I think some sort of like giant shark thing coming in and towards this area. Towards
all right, Grand, make me an athletic strength check as you pull up Heart Fuller, and to Lee's, go ahead and give me an Arcana check. I'm gonna call it DC 12.
Yeah, not good at those.
Oh, Grand, you pull another 9 feet up. You're 50 feet up out of the water. The Arcana check isn't quite successful. The giant shark comes up, and the turtle just kind of like snaps at it on the way by, just breaking the illusion and swimming closer to Heart. Heart, you see it like swim right up to you, its mouth opening. It is trying to chomp at you once more. Tell me, does a 16 hit you?
It will hit me.
It will hit damage. You. Would you like to hold on to the chest?
Hit me.
Hit me! He says, oh, please take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as once again the turtle chomps on you and like tries to pull you down a little bit, but only manages to, hurt you a little bit. Bruises, maybe some small broken bones on like your toes or something as it snaps at your lower half. But you get the opportunity to swim away or make another move. What do you do?
Heart is nearing the top. He can almost reach it. So much so that he's willing to provoke an attack of opportunity to do so.
Oh, okay. So you're going to put yourself in danger to speed away even faster. I like that. Yes. So the creature will take that opportunity as you expose yourself to swim away faster. The creature attacks with a 14.
Roll that 2d8.
Roll it. All right. That is 13 more points of damage. It snaps at your leg, grabbing it for a moment before you pull yourself free. Go ahead and give me a strength athletics check, and we will double your rate of movement for putting yourself in danger.
Yes. Nice. 22.
That is 44 feet of movement. You are just below the surface of the water as you swim away as fast as you can. What are the rest of you doing here as Heart is nearing the surface of the water?
I think I see that Grand like keeps pulling at this rope, but he's like using his arms to pull. He's doing it all wrong. I know I could do better. As a tiny little halfling, I could actually do better. And I'm like, okay, you place your legs against the ship like this, and you lift with your legs. Lift with your legs, Grand.
All right.
Okay.
Grand, you are assisted. Please make a strength athletics check at advantage.
Can I make the athletics check?
Sure. Yeah. You're assisted. Talise, make a strength athletics check here. That is 18. Nice. You pull with the rope, and Heart, you feel yourself yanked up past the surface of the water. You break free, take a deep gulp of air. The night sky now above you. What do you do?
Am I like on the ship, or am I like hanging off the side?
You're like hanging off the side, like getting dangled.
Pull me up! I'm like bleeding from like severe like puncture / scratch marks and all over my body. Dear God, that thing's after me. Oh! I point at like the mast and I shoot it.
Very good. The Greybeard's peg leg fires off. You ratchet it around like the edge of the ship or the mast and just grapple your way back up onto the ship safely. The turtle swims up to the surface, mouth open, looking. It takes a moment. It contemplates, like nudges the ship, and then it just swims back down into the waters below you, leaving you with a badly beaten heart and a treasure chest.
Can Grant sees these Sylvan runes. He also doesn't speak Sylvan, but he has a, a ritual spell, comprehend languages. So he will start casting.
All right.
Please rushes over. It's like, oh my god, the chest is okay.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I need some dry clothing. Where is it? And he turns towards it, put on his stuff.
I will instantly start casting prestidigitation every 6 seconds to dry you off.
He appreciates it.
Just like, all right, your fingers dry, your forearms dry, your foot's dry.
I absolutely start with whatever facial hair he has, and then I go to the ears, and then I work my way down. You gotta dry the beard first.
Right. All right. So for 10 minutes, you are prestidigitated dry, and Koron, like, is very concerned about the well-being of the chest. But eventually, Gron, you finish your ritual. And it is like scratched on and like kind of half like sylvan runes that are old and flowing, but like definitely in a hand that is rushed. This isn't the flowing, beautiful script. And it says, here is the treasure for the great turtle. And like as if it's being marked amongst other cargo.
Interesting. So yeah, Gron will relay that to the party. And
That turtle didn't seem so great.
Well,
he
nearly bit my leg off.
Turtle to hunt us down in the mist. Shall we?
So do you guys think it was like some kind of tribute to placate it or something? Or
Yes. Except it's tribute to placate us now.
I agree.
We earned it by right of him, as I pointed all of Heart's wounds. You should be the one to open it.
Is it locked?
It is
locked,
indeed, right? Yes.
I sort of start handing over my thieves' tools to Hart.
I don't know how to use these. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's what the gnome said. You should be the one to open it.
Well, why don't you pick the lock and then he can open the chest?
Yes,
oh,
I agree with
okay.
Yeah.
And I will.
We'll take a few steps back. A lot of steps back.
I believe this is expressly one of the things I can do at a distance with Mage Hand Ledger.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Using Mage Hand, you are going to pick the lock at a distance. I like that. Go ahead and give me a Thieves' Tools proficiency check using either your spellcasting modifier or dexterity, your choice, and we will see if you can unlock this.
Given that dexterity is 7 higher, let's do that.
All right, that seems fair.
Ooh.
That is a success. You hear a satisfying click in the lock as you see the kind of old padlock around the chest like spring open, and the chest itself is now available to open. Hart, you stride over and make it happen, or what's your plan?
Safe to say that during these 10 minutes of ritual casting, I get a 10-minute short rest?
Absolutely, yes. You
All
can
right,
spend that time
some
short resting.
All right, they'll bring me to full.
Beautiful.
All right, and he'll walk on over, put his hands on the sides, and lift.
All right, you lift up the chest. Inside the chest, there is a number of like old like wooden coins, like medallions that are polished to a gleam, that seem to be emblazoned with a sort of like figurehead that appears to be wearing big antlers. And these wooden coins seem to be quite valuable. There's a whole bed of them in the bottom of the chest. And amongst them, as you pull them out, you find what amounts to 200 GP worth of treasure. On top of the bed of these wooden coins, excuse me, you find two things. You find a shield that is made of sea turtle shell and etched with what appear to be draconic runes. And next to the sea turtle shell shield, you see what appears to be a decanter.
I think after Fizzle Spark's 10 minutes of prestidigitation, he will then start 10 minutes of detect magic to try to see what kind of enchantments are on these while the other party members of the party do whatever they wish.
All right. Another ritual begins to form in the same spot, as now it is Fizzle Spark taking over for Grand. Is there anything you guys would like to do in the next 10 minutes?
Let the wizards do their work.
All right. Fizzle Spark, eventually your ritual will come to an end, and you will see that, yes, both of these items are magical, as well as the lock and the chest itself. The lock and the chest are abjuration magic.
Okay.
And the two items are considered enchantment. The shield and the decanter.
Well, Gron will tell Talise, good thing you had that trick of yours. And you succeeded as well.
Better safe than sorry.
Given time during our travels, I can... Maybe these things are attunement?
Possibly. I recommend not closing this treasure chest or putting the lock back on until we get back to the council.
I agree.
Yeah. And the little medallions, the wooden medallions, did not have...
They're just
magic
treasure.
on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it seems like Hart will be attuning to the shield.
Okay. You spend your evening
the course of the
attuning to
crowd.
the shield. Absolutely.
Wait, Gron will ask, aren't you wielding two lances? And he will show you his shield as well, which he's using. But I mean, I'm fine with either. You're the frontliner.
I don't
so
just use two lances.
I also use two
Okay.
flails.
That is correct.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Just use it.
All right.
I will walk by Hart and be like, don't worry. The rest of us don't think you're defined by your weapons. He plays with bones a lot. It's okay. Good job, by the way. Can I have my peg?
Oh, of course. Here you go.
All right. The evening comes and goes. Over the course of the evening, you spend some time with the shield, attuning to it, caressing it, giving it, soft whispers in the bed. I don't know what you do to attune to an item. But at the end of your night of attunement, you will find that this is a +1 shield that is immune to gaseous breath weapons. The draconic runes provide protection against gaseous breath weapons. So, like, say, corrosive gas or poison gas.
This shield is quite something. It replaces the use of this ring. He holds up like a ring with like a nice little gem on it.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm holding on to this one.
All right.
Fizzle Spark would take an hour to examine the decanter. I mean, I would start by just popping the lid and pouring a little bit out, see if I get anything.
As soon as you pop open the lid, water comes roaring out of it. rapidly.
Ooh, okay.
And as the water sprays out of it, you will see occasionally small crustaceans and like fish occasionally popping out as well.
Is the water salty or sweet?
Yeah, you take a lick of it, and it is
Mhm.
as salty as possible. It is like as briny as the deep ocean.
Wonderful. I mean, I'll spend an hour attuning to it to get knowledge of the item, and if we can't do that till we get back in Rhyme View, then I'll just hang
All
on to
right.
it.
This is a decanter of endless water, is what the attunement would tell you. But clearly there is something more going on, as there are crustaceans and seawater like pouring out of it.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. With the evening spent attuning to the items and recovering from the treasure, you get a night's rest in the mist, and your boat continues on. The next day's journey is fairly uneventful as you make your way through the waters and eventually to the Shimmer Harbor itself. The boat doesn't go down through the actual harbor area to the kind of canal between the two ports. It simply is going to drop you off at the edge of the island, and then make its way eastward and on to Thornrest, to the east of the Shrouded Coast. You find yourself dumped off at a small kind of dock made of stone and definitely ancient. There are some old, like, kind of huts around that are kind of turned into makeshift bedding for people who arrive and need a place to sleep or a place to free themselves from the elements. There's a lockbox of like small rations and like trail rations, and cloaks and umbrellas, with a kind of tumble lock on it and a code that is painted on the side of the stone dock here, should you need to get into it. But you have arrived on the Shimmer Coast. As you look around and get your bearings, what's your plan now that you've arrived at your destination?
Well, we are supposed to meet someone uh, who we are supposed to help with a riddle. So I suggest we maybe ask around town if someone was talking about solving a riddle.
So you're going to make your way to the center of the island where the town is?
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. While we're out here, it doesn't hurt to look. Hart will like lick his finger, shove it in the air, feel if there's any strong winds.
Oh, interesting. Um, Give me an investigation check here.
I will. Just a D20. 16.
16. Beautiful. You stick your finger in the air, checking for swirling winds. They're not strong, but certainly you do find a kind of wind coming from north to south. But as you kind of move around the island, it does seem to kind of bank before it gets very far from you and turn eastward.
We need to head towards the center of this turning wind as like we're like walking around towards the center of the island.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to go further in.
Yeah, I think I've heard someone use the word once. I think you go perpendicular to the direction of the wind. Is that right?
Yes, it sounds good.
All right. With Heart's finger in the air and a like check on the breeze every so often, you begin making your way through the jungle, and you march your way through like kind of a sweltering, hot, tropical area. The land isn't necessarily marshy here, but it is very humid. You get like large trees, but they are all different than the trees you see in the forest back at home. They're kind of like hardened around a center pole and very thin with like big long leaves at the top, giving you some shade. You get a lot of underbrush. Occasionally, the like sea water will pool up in certain areas around the island, giving it almost a marshy feel. And as you travel through it, you are eventually able to hear some sounds. Our lookout, Talese, is first to notice them. There seems to be a like moaning or groaning of some sort, almost vocalized like human sounds, but there are no words being uttered. You can hear the crashing of like leaves and branches as you are making your way through, kind of following Hart. It's nearby, a little bit off to the kind of center of the island from where you are now, but the foliage is much too thick for you to make a notice of, or to make heads or tails of what is going on as you hear this. What do you do?
I hear a bunch of moaning and groaning, and I turn to the group, and I think there's some people over there that need some privacy. Let's go the other way.
Can Gron make like a nature check to see if it's actual human noises or maybe some animal mimicking?
Yeah. You consult your knowledge of the nature of the jungle. Do you hear the lion sleeping tonight? I don't know. Go ahead and make that nature check. You would know these to be not an animal. They sound humanoid in some way, but there's a pitch to them, a change that is unfamiliar to living human beings.
Oh, can I make an Arcana check to see if they're undead?
You are an expert in the ways of undead.
Yeah.
So says the 21 or so bodies in your bag.
Yeah.
You think that these are the groans of undead.
Oh, okay. Well, Gron says as much to the party and says, I think we should investigate.
Gonna go in trends, are you?
Yes.
Okay,
Alright, I'll get the camel ready.
All right.
See some spooky undead?
You push your way through the jungle, then following the noises as you go. Eventually, you push your way through some tough foliage, and you see in front of you a strange scene. It looks a little something like this. The scene in front of you is a number of zombies, some of them larger than others, standing a good 10 or 12 feet tall, and some smaller ones seemingly fighting the forest or the jungle itself. Ferns and trees and vines grasp and slam at them as they are like tearing them out by the roots and like slamming their fists against the trees. There seems to be a pitched battle going on, of which the jungle is losing. What do you do as you come across the scene?
So there's some kind of hut up here?
Yes, indeed. There's a small straw-roofed hut to the like kind of northeast of your party as you push your way through the jungle, and you don't see anybody inside of it. But the doorway is darkened by like a cloth of some kind, some kind of like curtain maybe between the doorway and the interior of the hut.
You fight.
We fight, he says. All right, you prepare yourselves to fight. Go ahead then and roll me some initiative.
We get an action beforehand, or are we just rolling in hot?
Sounds like you're rolling in hot to me.
That's what it sounds like to me as well.
All right, excellent.
If you can for me, Greg, please go ahead and make my token one size larger.
Oh, you're on your camel. Yes.
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 Sorry, Greg, I forgot again to press my token.
Aw, man.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting it.
Wow, they both rolled minus.
There's some initiative for us. Alrighty then. Let's put this in descending order. We need Heart and Gron in here. Alright, Heart, it looks like you rolled a 20? It doesn't really matter.
Yes.
You're going ahead of these guys,
We're
right?
all going first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so there is 20, there is 15. I don't really, it doesn't bother me. Party, you all are going to go first here, is essentially what's happening. I don't know why I bothered putting it in turn order. Party, you're going first, as they have both rolled -1s. What do you do?
Hart will stride forth,
Alright.
and will, with his twin lances, the shield's on the back for now, he will attack this zombie. And
Alright.
thanks to my mounted combat feat, I have advantage.
Ooh, absolutely. You ride up on this zombie as it's like punching the ferns on the ground, and it looks up as your lances
I'm
come
pale in the head for
crashing
16
down.
points of damage.
Yes! For 16 points of damage, your lance just crushes right through its head as it was looking up. It like shakes its head, like its whole jaw falls off on the ground. You've clearly bloodied the zombie, but it does not die.
Well, I have a follow-up as a bonus for only 8.
Oh, your follow-up, though, is perfect. You just lance it right through the chest, and you, like, lift it up off the ground as it, like, slides down your lance and then apart and falls to the ground, seemingly dead.
That's my turn.
Rest of the party, what are you up to?
Are we going in order of initiative or just all activating stuff?
I'm just letting the party go and then the enemies go, so jump in
Right,
whenever you're
Fizzle
ready.
Spark is going to activate his Sensor of Blessing, giving a 30-foot aura to the entire group.
Beautiful.
Would you like me to create the aura for my token?
I think I've got it here.
Alrighty.
What does it do?
It
Oh, yeah,
grants...
probably. Go ahead.
Go for it. Go ahead and explain your own item. I'm sorry.
Yep, nope, it's all good. It grants you a bless effect as long as you are within the radius of this sensor, and also gives your attacks a d4 of radiant damage. It has since been reduced so that it can only be one spell attack or attack per. What's the way that was nerfed, Greg? It's only
yes.
If it's a multi-targeting effect, it only targets once.
Right. So a multi-targeting skill or spell, like say Magic Missile, will only get a single D4 out of it. It will only affect one, like once per your attack, essentially.
Right. Sounds good.
Yep.
That is my action, and with my bonus action, I will activate my Cloak of Billowing and then stand there like a boss in this position right here.
You stand there with a billowing cloak and a sensor
Sensor,
spraying its essence out and around to the party. Excellent. Gron, Talise, what are you doing?
Talise will move forward a little bit and say, "Silly warrior, you need to be up next to them. Distract them for me." And she will fire her crossbow bolt at this big boy up here.
All right, you fire your crossbow bolt up at the big boy. Go ahead and make me a roll to hit. That is an 8. Go ahead and roll a d4 there.
He's a halfling, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's a
I'm
halfling.
so
He
I
is
will
lucky. Very nice. That is a 26. That is going to hit regardless.
All right, and so no sneak attack. Sorry, so just the 12 plus D4 radiant? Is that right?
D4 radiant.
That's correct.
Absolutely. Your arrow erupts in his chest, and you can see like a radiant light kind of billow through the big monstrosity. It roars in pain as like a hole opens up behind him where your arrow like struck and then erupted in light. It seems to be very effective against the ogre, and it turns away from its like clubbing motion against the trees and looks to you with its eyes like full of pain and confusion.
All right, so Grand sees Hart ride off with the shield on his back, looks down at his arm where he's holding his normal shield, makes a disappointed face. Then he will cast Toll the Dead on the already damaged ogre zombie.
Okay.
So give me ooh, that's some juicy damage.
Good roll.
Oh, very juicy indeed. That is a wisdom save for this guy.
Yep.
He is going to fail and take 22 points of necrotic damage, which don't seem to be very effective against this guy, unfortunately. It's not as good as you would have liked.
I did want to say that I'm dropping my crossbow, pulling out my dagger, and using my bonus action to ignite my daggers.
Very good.
It does take the extra 1d4, right?
It does, yes. The radiant light that hits it, though, does seem to be particularly effective. But it is a small hole that opens up from his wound as the bell tolls. Excellent. With the four of you moving, this big ogre just roars, and he leaves the trees, bounding off this hill. As he does so, you see the tree like wind up and then whap him as hard as it can. The tree here does attack. With a 15, it will hit the zombie. The tree does... Oops. The tree does 6 points of damage to it as it tumbles down, and then it is going to go, says 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It comes up to Talise, who shot him with the mighty arrow, and it roars, "Rah!" and lifts up a big morning star over its head to bring it crashing down upon you. With an 8, it just like topples a little bit as its footing is unsettled, and it smacks at the fern next to you instead, roaring at it. Excellent. The small zombies here are going to make their way around these trees here to kind of get in between them and you. They're going to take 2 attacks of opportunity here from the trees. Both of them hitting. Both of them doing 6 and 8 damage to the small zombies. They get thwacked and grabbed as like shrubs slap them, and the tree like rears back and hits them. They stumble a little bit, but they still make their way up to Hart. And as they do so, they are going to make 2 slam attacks against probably the camel, actually, seeing as they can't like lunge up at you as you're riding.
Unfortunately,
Yeah?
due to the mounted combat feat, as they try to aim for the camel, they can't help but hit me due to my ear interference.
Ooh, okay. They slam at your like feet and legs instead. Very good. Does an 18 hit you?
AC 19.
Oh, AC 19. They bounce off the armor of your legs and like the barding of your camel. And then they slam ineffectively at you, slapping around. This ogre zombie steps up, and you see him bring his Morningstar down, like on the brush of the trees. Just starts like ripping at roots and breaking like whole bushes and plants in one big swipe. As these two zombies make further attacks at the like bushes and trees around them, ripping them up by their roots, like trying to break as many branches and brambles as possible. At the end of it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks by the trees. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They are going to take 6 points of damage each, which is going to be enough to bloody these two in front of you, Heart. All right, party, it's your turn once again. Having seen the trees smacking these zombies and then closing with you in the party, what do you do?
Fizzle Spark, seeing these zombies beating up on the trees, this won't do. He wants to cast a web spell to essentially lock down zombie 1, 2, and 3 inside the trees where they can't move.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot radius, I believe. Let me click it.
There.
Cube.
Yeah.
So it should be able to cover all 4 of them.
10, 15, 20, 5.
All 3.
Yeah, I think it most definitely will.
They need to make me a DC 14 dexterity saving throw, I believe.
A DC 14 dex save. All right, they're so good at those. You know?
I know, they're really good at dex
Really
saves.
good at those. Okay.
It's almost like I chose this for a reason.
That is 1 fail. And we're just going to roll both of these guys at the same time. That is 2 fails, but 1 success.
Yep.
As this guy is grabbed by the web, and this guy is grabbed by the web, but this one saves.
All right, and then I will reposition to here. And then
Okay.
Hart will turn to his side and thrust a lance towards the ogre zombie.
Ooh,
Attacking
excellent.
Louise. This one has the benefits of the sensor, which gives bless and damage, so here it comes. 13.
That'll hit.
I will do 8 piercing, 1 radiant, and I will mark it, which means it has disadvantage on everyone other than Hart.
Oh, excellent. It is marked. Let's see.
All right, Grond.
And then when you do that, I'm just going to attack a normal zombie.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll do the lower of the 2. For a 12 to hit.
12 to hit will hit.
For 9.
All right. That is enough to bring this one down.
Does he get the D4 radiant on the second attack, or are we only doing it on 1 attack per turn? It's a different monster. Hence we're exploring how we're doing this sensor.
I think so. I was going to give the Firebolt the ability to work on the Helping Hand staff, so I think for the attack action, that would work. Yeah, on a different
For each
monster.
individual attack.
For each individual monster that you attack with that, yeah, I think so.
Alright, 3 extra radiant.
Oh, excellent. That is an extra dead zombie.
And
All right.
I'm satisfied to hold this position.
Okay. Grond, what were you up
Okay,
to?
so Grond first he wants to survey the battlefield. He really doesn't want to anger the trees against us, so he's very hesitant to use anything that deals fire damage. For example, the ogre zombie in front of him. Would there be a location beneath him where I could make fire, where I wouldn't be burning any plants?
You wouldn't be burning any plants. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see the plants on the screen, right? So tell me where you're trying to make fire.
Yeah, here, for example.
Sure.
All right, then he will cast give me a dex save.
Okay. You create a bonfire underneath this creature. as it dances from one foot to the other, trying to avoid the flames. It fails. It will take 4 points of fire damage. No, 12 points of fire damage plus 8 radiant. Excellent. That is enough to bloody this zombie.
All right, now I get to stab the crap out of it.
Excellent.
All right, so I'm going to bring down the first of my flaming whip daggers.
Mm-hmm.
I assume a 26 is going to hit.
A 26 will hit, yes.
So 4 of that is radiant up there.
4 of that is radiant up there, so an extra 4 is 17, and 7 is 34 points of damage. My goodness. Your stab rends through the creature, like it blows with light as you do. The radiant damage, like cleaving parts of the zombie off. It kind of staggers to one side. It appears to be close to death's door.
And I pull my other dagger out of its sheath, now flaming as it does, and bring that one down on it as well.
Okay.
Sadly, no critical here.
Sadly, no critical, but you definitely hit.
No sneak attack. So, that.
That is 2 radiant and 7 piercing. That is 4, 11. That is enough to bring down the ogre zombie. It falls and it dies, crashing down to the ground below.
All right. I will move a little bit forward and end my turn.
All right, excellent. I believe that is the entire party to act. It is Zombie's turn. This zombie here is going to attempt to attack good old Heart, seeing as it can't attack the camel anyway. It will slam at you, trying to dislodge you from the camel, but it is unable to. The ogre zombie is going to try to break free from the web spell. I believe it gets a strength check to do so.
Yep.
DC 14.
It does so, ripping and rending its way from the web. It wants to step away from the web, and it does so over to here. And then makes another attack at the bushes behind it, just ripping and rending and tearing and breaking the trees as much as possible. This one
The strength
here...
check isn't his action? Is the strength check his action?
Yeah, it is, but he still is like just pulling roots out of trees and shit. He can't differentiate between the ones that are attacking him and the ones that aren't, so I'm just displaying his aggression against trees. This guy is going to move this way. And he's going to rip up at the shrub in front of him. This one here will attempt to make his way free. Failing to, and remain stuck in the web. At the end of the zombie's turn, this one is going to point at these 2 dead zombies, and he begins to chant in some language, and the creature rises from the dead, pulling itself back up and ready to fight some more.
Greg.
Yes.
Which was it? The restrained zombie that pointed and chanted?
This one here. Yep.
The ogre. Okay.
He said this one. We didn't see the pink. That's all. Keep going.
The trees will then make their attacks. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 attacks. With a miss, and 3 hits. They are going to do 5 points of damage, which is enough to bloody these 2 down here. Excellent. With that, it is the party's turn once more. What will you do?
Please get this one off me.
All right, I will go ahead and bring down my right hand on this zombie here.
The serpent's
15 to
flame bites out, slashing the zombie.
4.
For a
2 of that is
ton
radiant,
of
so
damage.
19,
Yes.
probably.
Your serpent's bite just takes the head right off the zombie, it rolls underneath a plant, and gets smushed. The creature lies dead once more.
And I will use the whip-like fire of my offhand one to reach out and attack this other one.
The flaming bite of the serpent just lashes out across towards the camel, which wickers a little bit, if camels can wicker, as this zombie gets struck once more.
It looks like my damage might actually be wrong on this, so I think you need to remove the 5. I don't know what messed up with my sheet. I definitely had this right before. Anyway, so it's just 1 radiant and...
I see, because it's the offhand,
Yeah.
you don't get the 5.
Yeah, I definitely had it set up correctly before.
Okay. 6 points of damage is enough to bring this to death's door, but not slay it.
Oh, actually, I messed up even more things, because this is supposed to be the active version, which does an extra bit of damage. D8 of damage. Of fire damage.
Oh, for the fire. Yes, your extra fire damage of any kind will kill this creature, as it falls down to the lashing bite of the serpent from your blade. Alright.
That's what it
Hart will take the initiative, moving through these spaces to get more central in the battlefield.
Okay.
He'll thrust 1 lance towards the ogre zombie.
Ooh. Please do.
17.
17, that hits.
For a total of 5 piercing, 2 radiant.
Oh, excellent.
And then I will thrust at the zombie that I am standing, or the camel is standing next to.
Okay.
Oh, and I mark the ogre zombie.
And you mark the ogre zombie. Beautiful.
28 to hit this zombie for 13 piercing and 2 radiant.
For 13 piercing and 2 radiant, you bring down this zombie next to your camel. It falls back dead onto the ground.
Thrusting in many different directions as the camel's just going for it. Goes the camel. And that's my turn.
Very good. Grand Fizzlespark, what are you doing?
Go. I will throw 3 magic missiles at the ogre zombie.
Okay, excellent.
2, 1, 2, 3, and then a d4 of radiant damage to go with it.
Excellent. So 2, 4, 8, 11 points of damage. The ogre zombie stumbles back, and then your radiant missile hits him. It erupts into like a hole in his pectoral as your radiant energy just crashes through the zombie.
We'll stand right here.
All right, excellent.
Alright, Grand will blink out the bonfire underneath this one and move it here. Hopefully not hitting any of the plants.
Okay, sounds
and
good.
give me a dexterity save.
Will do.
Not much damage though.
He fails his save and takes 5 more points of damage. And then
And 4
8 more points of radiant damage as he erupts in
And
a
then-
holy light.
Grand moves over here.
You're a bit quiet there, Gron.
Oh, he moves. He just moves afterwards.
Okay, sounds good. I believe that is our whole party, yes? It is indeed zombie time. The ogre zombie is marked, and he steps forward to meet the challenge as he swings his mighty ogre, club? No, it's a mace. Morningstar. At good old Heart. He swings with a 7, just slashing through the air, unable to do anything about it. He roars his displeasure. This creature here is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 up to do the same thing to Heart, but it is going to be attacked twice by the trees. Let's see here. That is going to be 2 hits each. And he's going to take 7 points of damage twice before he even gets to you. The trees bludgeon the zombie to death, smashing its head and body and torso down into the earth as it falls unable to reach you. The last zombie will attempt to make a strength save to get out of the web. It's still stuck in the web. At the end of the turn, the trees attack. They make 2 attacks. 1 hit, 1 miss. The hit will be on the ogre zombie. It will deal 3 more points of damage to him. Party, it is your turn once more. What will you do?
Arch thrusts forth at the ogre zombie.
All right.
First attack for 12 piercing, 4 radiant.
Oh, excellent. Your lance strikes through the creature, leaving it bloodied.
And then I'll attack the normal zombie that's currently restrained. At advantage. For 15 piercing, 2 radiant.
Your lance cleaves through the head of this creature. It falls dead. Or it would fall dead, except the webs have it restrained. It just lies there motionless in the webs.
Alright, Grond will go next. So give the ogre needs to do a dexterity save.
Okay. This time it will succeed, dancing away from the fire. Used to your tricks by now.
Yeah. So the radiant doesn't deal damage. Then he will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and will use this spell. 19 for 15 lightning damage.
That will hit. Yeah, he takes 15 points of lightning damage as you grasp him with your hand, and 8 more of the radiant damage.
Radiant. And one effect of this spell is that he does not have reactions this turn.
Okay.
So he will move. That was 5 squares to get there. 6, 7, 8.
Okay, excellent. Please, Fizzle Spark, what are you up to?
All right,
Go ahead.
I will move forward, and as Grand is pulling back, I will cover his retreat, even though it's not necessarily obviously, with 2 swings of my blade.
Oh.
That's
That
probably
is
gonna do
definitely going to hit. For a bunch of damage. My goodness.
So 6 of that is radiant as well.
So 12... No, we'll just add 6
36
to that.
total after the double
10,
radiant.
19, 6 is 25, 15 is... Wait, 36 you said?
Yeah, if the radiant's doubled.
10
it
plus
should be
9 is
40
19,
something.
plus 6 for doubling the radiant is 25, plus 11 is 36, plus 8 is 44.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That creature is dead. In a single mighty blow, you eviscerate the ogre zombie in front of you, destroying the zombie as it falls. It crumbles into the bonfire behind it, and the whole thing erupts in holy flame from the censer. The moaning of the zombies stops, and as soon as the zombies die, the trees kind of sway for a moment, and they stop, and they quit attacking the zombies. The combat ends, and you look around just outside of this hut, no longer under any duress. What do you all do?
I
look in
rush to the
amazement.
north, where my
Look at
crossbow.
amazement. Go ahead.
I rush to the north
that's
where my crossbow bolt went. My baby, where is it? And I look for my crossbow.
You have
bolt.
a 50% chance of finding it. Go ahead and roll me any dice, and we'll if it's a high of 50%, you keep it. If it's a low 50%, it's missing. You keep
Oh,
it.
thank God.
Nice.
Fizzle Spark will look in amazement at Gron as he moved forward in combat, and then everything will be all well in his eyes as Gron moves back again after the shocking grasp. Things are back to normal. And he will step up and yell out towards the hut, "Hello? Anyone in there? The trees are safe."
You make your way up to the hut and you yell inside of it. The kind of curtain that was hanging over the entrance just slides away, and like grayed and bearded old shaman kind of pokes his head out. He says, "It's done? Wonderful. Oh, thank you. I didn't know there would be visitors. I could have saved some magic there. Ah, thank you for helping."
These zombies, do you know their origin? Why they are here?
Oh,
Ron says, "Wow."
yeah, see, I was testing some magical spores, and unfortunately, my experiments went a little awry. But they're dead now, so that's good.
Grond nods approvingly and inspects the zombies interestedly.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
As you inspect them, you like more closely, you will see little tiny like mushrooms, barely the size of like a pin, kind of sticking out of their like head and neck area.
And Grond, with his experience in necromancy, will realize that this isn't necromancy at all. It is nature magic that is reanimating through spores or mushrooms, fungi bodies. So the effect is very similar, but it's actually different.
Mm-hmm. He looks around. He says, "I suppose I should give you some kind of reward, huh? Do you need some shelter out here? I can offer you my humble abode." He says, "Don't worry, it's bigger on the inside."
You're on the move.
I was about to say, I already walked in the hut. He said it's bigger on the inside. I want to see what's in there.
It is indeed bigger on the inside. As you step in, you see a nice kind of like wooden hut. And there are shelves along like each of the walls full of like old books. They look like they're kind of hand bound. They don't look like they're properly made by a printing press. The rest of your search of the room kind of shows like one little quadrant of it is a bubbling kind of cauldron that is over a small fire. There seems to be racks of spices and different items for cooking over there. You see a laboratory kind of set up on one side where there are like plants growing out of like pots, and there's like an animal, maybe like a squirrel or some kind of rodent that has been like cut open like a school biology project. And there's a notebook next to it seeming to categorize like all of the different organs. There are jars full of strange herbs and fungi. There's like essentially an ant farm in one side, but as you look, the ants are like very different looking than a regular colony. They all seem to have little spores or hairs kind of like growing out of their heads. The whole place gives you the feel of some kind of researcher's abode.
I move immediately to the squirrel. And then turn back. Was the squirrel dead when you found it?
Oh no.
I cast mirror image.
Okay, you cast mirror image. He's oh dear. What if I said yes? What do? He like looks to the four of you. Five
What's
of
going
you.
on here? Just like
Gron
the last one having walked in through the front.
Ron will try and calm down Fizzle Spark. Now, Fizzle Spark, we have a very important mission. Maybe this kind sir can help us, point us in the right direction.
You defiled the squirrel. You must pay. What will you do to atone for your crime? Speak wisely.
I could give you magic seeds. He like pulls a small pouch out of his like cloak, and he like pours some out in his hand. See, and you see like large green like ovoid seeds.
I will stare at him for a second. Can you describe him one more time, Greg?
The seeds or the person?
The shaman.
The shaman. He's an old kind of grayed man. Definitely in his like late 60s, maybe early 70s. His hair is unkempt and full of like twigs and dirt. He's wearing kind of like a large shawl or like cloak kind of over his whole body that has kind of, it probably was brown at one point, but has turned gray over years of age. It has like streaks and spots on it. Yeah.
Well, all this is happening. Is there anything that looks vaguely valuable to Talise?
Well, the magic beans are definitely valuable if they are what he says. There are definitely a bunch of rare herbs and funguses in here. I don't know how much of a biologist you are, but you probably are at least passingly familiar with poisons, of which there are more than a few in here, or at least the ingredients for making them.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm just
Sorry.
gonna find something that maybe I don't have the best eye that I think would be the most valuable, and I'm just, well, those two are engaged in an argument with each other. I'm just pocketing something.
Yeah, absolutely. You pocket a small lotus flower that is of both black and red striped kind of petals. And you know that the kind of root, like the stem of that flower, can be ground into, or like, you know how lotuses have those like kind of long roots that go down into the ground, those long stems into them as they kind of float in the water. Like that stem itself can be ground into a powder and mixed with various poisons to increase their potency. It is a pretty powerful reagent that you think you could sell for a hefty sum, given the right connections.
As he says this, Fizzlespark will say, I demand 3 things to atone for your crime. 1,
Okay.
an oath. You will harm no more squirrels in this forest. If you need to experiment on creatures, try birds. They're assholes.
Okay, I can definitely do birds.
2, the seeds that you promised. Hand them to the necromancer.
Oh, yes, of
That's
course.
$20.
He like puts them back in a pouch and like twirls them up. They're yours.
I will then step up on a stool so that I can meet him at eye level. And 3, that twig in your hair, above your left ear.
Oh,
I point at the twig right in there. It looks like a small, it looks like a fork out to the side. I want the twig. Give me
oh,
the twig.
of course. He like tries to pull it out of his hair. It's kind of stuck and rat's nested in there a little bit, but he works it on out and hands you a like hairy twig.
Or Fizzlesparks will reach out. He doesn't know which one grabs it, but one of them takes it.
Yeah,
then
all 4
I-
Fizzle Sparks examining the twig now. He's like, oh, well, that's interesting.
If I hear that you harm another squirrel, and I will know. I point at him, stare him in the eyes. I will be back. And then I storm out of that.
Grand will be much more friendly to his fellow researcher. You know, he just from the experiments he's been doing outside, he already has a lot of respect for him. But like looking inside here, and especially seeing all the poisons, he's very interested, and he will strike up a conversation with him, especially about the poisons. And in the end, he will ask them if he could maybe spare a few samples of poisons, specifically adder poison, spider poison, and a scorpion poison, if he has that.
I don't really see spiders around here very often, oddly enough. I don't seem to be in the jungle, but scorpion and adder poison, yes, of course, quite simple. Let me find it. He kind of rifles through his jars and whatnot, and he finds some like what you find are like fresh scorpions, like crawling around in a jar, and then like the heads of some adders. And she's like, oh, 1 minute, and he like reaches in and just like grabs one of the scorpions and like grips its tail, and he like begins like squeezing it into an empty vial, like milking the scorpion tail until it's dry, and then he just kind of like casually snaps the scorpion, like breaks it up, and then starts sprinkling it on top of his ant farm. And then he takes the adder head, and then he like milks the fangs on the edge of a different jar until it's dry, and then he just like tosses the adder head on top of the ant farm as well, and kind of hands you like 2 open vials, just fresh as you can get.
Yeah, Gron nods approvingly and says, I thank you very much. As a fellow researcher, I can tell you you have helped my research quite a bit.
Oh, that's good. Yes, excellent. Good to hear. Perhaps I will hear of your findings one day.
Yes, I hope so. And he turns to leave, and then when he reaches the door, he does Inspector Columbo. Oh yes, one more thing. you know that?
Yes,
I got it. That's good.
And it says, do you maybe know of someone on this island, on the Shimmer Isles, that has been either talking about a riddle or about solving a riddle, or maybe talking in riddles?
Yeah, I think I do know who you're talking about, yes. Let me think for a moment. He has a name. A little one, like your friend there, but not as, interested in squirrels. Glim! Yes. You're actually fairly close to where he spends his days staring out at the ocean. He seems to think somebody's going to come help him. I don't know. Probably unlikely. Well, actually,
you
you're
might not
looking
be
for
wrong.
him. Crazy coincidence, him just sitting out there waiting. Well, follow the path out of my abode here to the cliffside to the north, and you will likely find him there playing with some fire, as he normally does, as he waits for his, I suppose, companions. I didn't even know he had friends. Strange thing, hear that one. Good luck.
Thank you very much. You have helped us a great deal.
Oh, well,
And he
you
will take his
took
leave.
care of my wayward experiments, so the least I could do. I would ask that your little friend did not come back. He seems very scary, and I would hate for him to see the basement.
Gron chuckles and says, don't worry about him.
All right.
As everyone leaves, Hart being the last one staring at the doorway,
Uh-huh.
he'll turn back. Have a good day.
Oh, you as well, good sir. Excellent. So you have encountered some strangeness out in the woods. You got some I don't know, ferns versus zombies action, flora
Indeed.
versus zombies action, something like that. You continue your way north. Eventually, you will hear a crackling of fire somewhere to your north. You smell some smoke, and as you break through the foliage, you'll see the cliffside at the far north of the island. And sure enough, standing next to a small fire pit is a stocky gnome. He has a muscular build that is barely hidden by his robe and red cloak. As the cloak kind of sways in the sunlight, it seems to shimmer like an open flame. Definitely catching the eye of one of you, I am sure. He has a shock of blonde hair kind of framing a youthful face that is screwed up in concentration as he's like staring fascinated with the flame.
With my peg leg, I'll nudge Grond.
I thought you were going to speak to him. He seems to be quite your type, no?
If you insist, I will try to find a small piece of land that allows me to exceed this man's height by standing on something.
It turns out you don't even need to. You
Oh, he's
size
shorter
him
than
up
me?
a little bit. Yeah, this is like a 1.5 foot gnome. Like he's short and stocky.
I will then walk up behind his shoulder and be like, "What do you see in the fire, friend?"
I see, my friend. The elemental! Aha! And he like turns his hands over, and you see the flames kind of dance and shape. And he like pulls some into his hand, and there's like a little like fire elemental who says, "I named him Flamey."
It's a solid name.
I know. I'm very clever. What are you doing here?
I hear that your name is Gloom. Is this true?
It is! It is! Are you here to help me with the riddle?
Yes, we are.
Oh, thank goodness. Yes. Good. 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 Oh, all right. Are you ready to help? Sit down. This is going to be a doozy. Here it is. Through fire and flame you have walked, and destruction you have wrought. Our family shame you must resolve, so this pizzle you must solve. Bring us to eat a cooked meal without your heat. I don't understand it. I've been trying for days, weeks, months, years.
What is a pizzle?
A puzzle, a puzzle. Did I misspeak?
Oh, maybe.
Ah,
Or did you?
I think it means something more is pizzle.
Fizzle?
Yes.
you know what? You might be onto something. Yes, yes. We must discover the source of a pizzle.
Yes.
Good.
That is the true riddle.
Good, good. A pizzle. Ah, that's why I couldn't understand it. I was focused on the wrong thing. Heat. Everything needs heat. He like starts playing with fire in his hands again. Like, yes, yes. All right, all right, all right.
A cooked meal, you said. Without...
No, we must focus on the pizzle. You're right. Pizzle it is.
Right,
Where
pizzle.
would we find a pizzle?
A pizzle first. Pizzle, I think, would be a puzzle with the shape of an eye.
Huh?
Or a puzzle. A puzzle that one can see.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
A moving block puzzle of some kind.
Right.
It must be here in the aisles. Good. He like picks up a small like traveler's bag and like swings it over his shoulder. He says, "Come, follow me. We will search the island for this pizzle."
I will look back to my party, give them 2 big thumbs up, and then
Grabs the lead for the camel. Just starts walking.
Grand falls, but yeah, is still in thought, thinking about how one could cook without heat. He's thinking about chemical reactions that would still produce heat, but not fire. So yeah, he's still thinking.
Very good, very good. He like takes you on a journey throughout the aisle, like up and down the shimmer. He's looking for things. He stops momentarily to like dance a flame around his hands. He like looks at shadows very intensely. He's like, "Is this it? Is this a puzzle?" No, no. And for a few hours, he will just like make you guys wander up and down the jungle, searching intently for the pizzle. After some time, he'll probably warm up to the idea that he's not finding anything, but what do you do for the like 4 or 5 hours that you must spend with him traipsing up and down this island?
first of all, I'm absolutely going to allow him to search for the pizzle. In
Okay.
order to gain this man's trust, we have to warm up to him in some way. And he seems to be fixated on this. We're going to let this fixation grow for a little bit. But as we're walking around, I will quiz him again and be like, "What was the first part again? Tell me." Especially
Through
the
fire
part
and
of the
flame
pizzle.
you've walked. That was the first part, yes.
Hmm.
Do you
Fire and
think...
flame.
Must we walk through fire? And he like shakes his hands, and like a wall of flame appears in front of you, like burning through trees. Like, good idea. Come, we'll walk through fire and flame. That will do it. And then we'll find our puzzle. Pizzle. And he just like walks through it to the other side.
Unscathed.
Are
Can't tell. He's on the other
You
side.
can't tell. Yeah, he's on the other side.
Well, Grand is not walking through the fire. He already had his trial by fire.
One of you can lead my camel around the fire. I'll entertain this madness.
All right, and Grand will do that.
Hart walks through the fire.
All right. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, sure. Here's a +5. 10?
Oh, that is
Not
not,
for stealth
enough.
DC.
Please take for me 11 points of fire damage as you get to the other side. You see the stocky gnome like patting down his cloak and like patting down his hair as it smokes and cinders. He turns around. He says, "I don't see a pistol. Do you?"
No.
That's but the first part of the riddle. What comes next?
I think it's a riddle.
Continue
I don't think we're
rot?
supposed. I don't think we're supposed to actually walk through fire.
What was the second part again? Something about darkness?
He looks around and like brings down the flames and he goes, "Okay, let's see. Through fire and flame you have walked, and destruction you have wrought. Our family's shame you must resolve, so this puzzle you must solve. Bring us to eat a cooked meal without your heat."
We know which family this refers to. Is there a famous family?
Yes,
Ashamed of this island?
yes. That would be my
Yours?
pops, mom and pops. They're fairly annoyed. Okay, yeah. Look, background knowledge. You don't need it, but I'll give it to you anyway. You seem to be confused. I am Glim. I come from a proud line of pyromancers. Of course, the village itself, we're all fairly good at spell casting in various ways. My family, we like fire! And he like dances some fire around his fingers. Says, "Unfortunately, I had a little bit of an accident. My powers kind of erupted, so to speak, and they maybe stole a large portion of the village's buildings. And then, for some reason, they decided that this brought shame to our family. I just say I'm very powerful, but whatever. And I have been banished from the village until such time I can prove myself worthy of returning. And Mom and Pops gave me this riddle, and I just can't solve it. I've been thinking and doing. I've answered it incorrectly twice. They said I need to answer it correctly the next time or just ignore it. And that just won't do. So I went and I scratched the riddle on the board. Wait a minute. Did you find it on the board? Are you the minds I've been searching for? Yes. I knew it. Clever minds would solve my clever riddle so they could help me solve this more difficult one.
Greg, I'm sorry, you cut out just the moment when he said what he stole.
I didn't steal anything. What are you talking about?
Destroyed some buildings with fire?
Yes, I cut out,
so.
you say. When did I cut out?
Yes.
So, Glim is a gnome from a proud line of pyromancers in a village of gnomes that are all potent in spellcasting. One day, his powers went out of control, and the flames stole a large portion of the gnome village's buildings. Shamed by the loss of control, Glim's family had no choice but to banish him from the village until such time he could prove himself worthy of returning. To cleanse the shame of his failure, Glim has been tasked to demonstrate the answer to the riddle, the following riddle, the one that you are trying to solve for him. That is essentially what he was.
Okay, sorry. I just heard stole, and then it cut out, and I thought he stole an object, but he just destroyed buildings. Okay. Do you guys remember how the riddle went again? Through fire and flame you have walked, and destruction you have wrought. Our family's shame.
You must resolve. So this puzzle you must resolve. Bring us to eat a cooked meal without any heat.
Essentially, yes. It says a cooked meal without your heat. Yes.
What if you use someone else's heat?
I tried that. Didn't work.
When it didn't work, what did they say?
They laughed at me. Said to try harder.
I'm very sorry.
It's about what I needed. It was too simple of a solution, clearly. We're genius minds in the village.
Just cook a meal without using any fire or source of heat?
But how can one do that? It's inconceivable.
With acid, maybe?
I don't think that's how that works. I mean, if you're cold, any food you make will feel warm.
Freeze my family, then serve them a hot meal.
No, serve them a
Might
cold
be onto
meal,
something
not
there.
cold.
Yes, how do we conjure a snowstorm? Oh, I might have to find somebody with a particular set of skills. Mine are more hot, as he dances some flames across his fingers.
It has to be something that you must do with your heat. I mean, just your person.
How do flames become cold? Need cold fire.
Second time you were unsuccessful. What did you try?
Oh, I brought them fish with some salt on it. You know, like they eat in the weird big cities. Like fish and rice and like that green paste. And then they didn't like it. Don't blame them. It's not a hot
Taste
meal.
of the meal?
Huh?
The taste, or just that it wasn't hot?
No, it failed the test. I have no idea if they liked it. I should hope not. Poor taste if they did.
So, how can you cook
So-
something without heat? That's
It's the riddle!
It depends. It depends on your interpretation of the word cook. Maybe they just mean cook as in prepare a meal. And I would guess...
But he tried the fish idea.
Yes, that's pretty much it, yeah.
Have you tried drying meats? Jerky? I believe you don't have to cook it, you just put it out to dry, given time.
I have not tried that. Is that a worthy answer? I do not know.
It is an answer that one...
Good. We need salt and meat. And sun and time. Good. All right. Bring me salt and sun and meat and time. And we'll figure it out. Yes? Yes. Good. Good. I shall go hunting for time. And he wanders off.
Well, we are at the ocean, so we could get some salt from the sea.
One better.
Town is
Are
some
there
ways
any-
off.
Are there any large leaves around, Greg?
Any large leaves? Absolutely. You're in the jungle. You can find a large leaf.
I'm talking like foot long.
Sure, maybe you have to like climb a tree or something, get a particularly big fern, but yeah.
I will take my decanter of endless water, open it up, and collect a pool of water in the leaf, like 2 or 3 of them, and then put them out in the sun. Wait till they dry. I bet we'll have salt at the end.
Okay. You unleash your decanter of endless water to pool it up in the leaf. One of them gets messed up because the crustacean comes out like, but you manage to get some pools of water and begin the drying process.
It would be the heat of the sun, not the heat of any fire one would have to make to cook.
Yes. I think it'll work to get a salt. I don't know if leaving meat out in the sun is...
I'm not much of a chef myself. I just know
Yeah.
how jerky is made, roughly.
I think it would just kind of rot. So are we hunting for meat? Is this our solution? Or do we have more information that we wish to suss out for this riddle?
Well, Gron still is thinking about cooking without heat. Basically, would mean acid, since acid can, in certain foods, like have a similar effect.
Actually, no, he ran off. he must have cooked a meal using his fire for the building to burn down. Probably.
Maybe? I don't know. Well, he's going looking for time, so he'll be gone for a while.
That is true.
Yeah, but Grand agrees. The only two things he can think of is curing with salt, either fish or meat, or the acid trick. Unless
Let's
it's something
step back from
completely
this
different. Yeah.
Let's step back from this for a second. His family is mad because he used power uncontrollably and caused damage. He also seems to be a little bit headstrong. Not that headstrong for a gnome, but a little bit headstrong. They seek to teach him a lesson. So they give him a riddle. One that has a clear answer that is clearly wrong. Perhaps this has nothing to do with food. Perhaps they are trying to teach him to think outwardly instead of just use his power recklessly.
So you mean
But
just
in case this fails, go look for some meat. And Fizzlespark will walk over and sit down. He's going to pull out his book of history of the Shimmer Harbor.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go looking for interesting tidbits, including any type of like magical flame or like magical source on the island. Maybe they want him to go search and find something else, not just cook this meal. So I'm going to spend some time and just dive into this, looking for any tidbit of information that I can find that perhaps can give me a clue.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead and make me a history intelligence check. And you are consulting your book. So go ahead and expend its charge and roll at advantage. 25. Beautiful. You read through the history of the Shimmer Harbor looking for something interesting about like magical flame or heat. And while you don't find a source of magical flame, you do read that there is a volcanic kind of activity that happens underneath the kind of main isle upon which you are on. There are cave systems that will lead down into the kind of depths of the island, and there is known to be a like lava flow or volcanic flow of some sort, which would definitely provide you heat.
Perhaps that is where we must take the meal. What shall we have them prepare, friends? We must find that first, and then we must find that cave.
But Grand is still thinking how that would be cooking without. No, I guess it's not his.
Actually,
heat.
he has an idea. It has to be his heat. Did he try cooking just a normal meal?
No, it cannot be his heat. But that's what I was gonna say. Basically, he could just cook food normally.
Yes.
Without using his magical heat, but just normal fire.
Yes. I
said
don't
he
know
already-
if he tried that.
He said he already tried using
No, he
someone
said he
else's
tried
heat.
having someone else cook the food.
Just have him cook a meal normally himself.
Because this would fit with what Fizzlespark said about teaching him a lesson to not constantly use his powers, but use
The
them
man is
sparingly.
obviously trying to think outside of the box, air quotes, makes the motion. But when the answer is right before him, just don't use the heat of his magic, just use the heat of a campfire.
Hmm.
We can ask him if he's tried.
Heat of a lava flow, I think, is very bad to cook your food in, actually.
Yes,
The
I
gases
agree.
down there are quite bad for you as well. We can ask him and go from there.
Oh. We can either, well, shall we go find him? Shall we find something to cook?
We can find something to cook first.
All right. You're off to look for something to cook. You are hunting in the jungle. What will you find? Mr.
I
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I don't think any of one of us is very good at hunting, but I do have my owl familiar who is pretty good at hunting. Maybe it can hunt a small animal, like
Sure.
a rabbit.
Roll me a. Let me see. Roll me a d6. Okay, you send your owl out on the hunt. It circles around in the daylight, eventually goes crashing down through the trees. Whoosh! It comes flying back to you, and it lays at your feet a dead vole.
That is very small,
A gnome-sized meal.
I guess.
We don't know how big his family is. Maybe
Scathing.
we need a feast.
Highly contemplating magic missiling that familiar. Kill the bull! Run! Thought we talked about this.
Wait, I thought you were only a friend of squirrels.
And chipmunks. And bulls, they're soldiers in the Squirrel King's army. Grunt! We've talked about this 7 times on the bull ride. Come on, you should know. Keep that thing at bay.
Well, it's my owl. It just does what it does, you know?
Yeah, just like my magic missile, it just does what it does. I can't control it sometimes. I don't understand.
Oh, I thought that was just a brilliant cover. Oh, by the way, I got this while you were yelling at that guy. I'll pull out the
mushroom or like the lotus.
lotus flower, yeah. Black and red lotus
Yeah,
flower.
Grun will pull out the beans and say, "Here, take this as a as a recompense."
Fizzle Spark will narrow his eyes, which behind his dual monocles you can't see. Grab the beans and then walk off. And I will find a slightly elevated spot and see if I can see Glim. There's a chance he's maybe 20 feet outside the camp.
Give me
Like
a
staring into
investigation
space.
check as you climb up to a high point and look around.
Heart will come up. Okay.
Yeah, you investigate with Hart, and you both spot him some probably 600-700 feet off. He is just traveled down the cliffside. He is in a patch of what appears to be very thick shrubbery. And he seems to be pulling up things and observing them, and then going over somewhere else and look. He seems to be looking through the shrubs for time.
Let's go stop him before he goes any further.
We shall also ask him about the volcano.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
We start rushing.
We journey down.
Okay, you journey down. The 4 of you make the journey through the thick underbrush of the jungle, leaving behind your salted water. And you eventually come across the one and only Glim, kind of lifting things up. He's like, "Oh, you're back already? Did you find what you needed?" He cuts something off and he holds it up. "Look, time!" And he's got herbs just hanging
nice.
off of his lip.
We have a question for you. Have you tried cooking a meal and giving it to them?
No,
Like
of
actual
course
fire.
not. They said not to use my heat. Well, how could I cook a meal?
Using
We're gonna salt
a
the
match?
thing, right? Do you have salt? Do you have something to cook? I have time. Oh
have you used a match to start a fire?
no, I'm gonna use a match.
Magic.
I have fire myself.
Ah, that is the crux of the matter. Turns his face his friends. You're not supposed to use magic to cook.
Well,
Did
that's
you use magic to cause the fire?
Well, of course. Well, I mean, I'm
Hey.
not a little pyromaniac. It's not like I threw. Yes, of course I use my magic. I don't even
They
know what
want
I
you
would
to-
throw, to be honest. I've completely lost all understanding of mundane fires.
I think that's what they want.
Yes, I agree.
Look, I only have one more chance to get this right. If I cook them a meal and it's wrong, I'm banished for life. I'm concerned about this plan.
What
That's all
about
I'm
using
saying.
the flames of volcano? Is that a better fire?
I did not consider that. Would that work?
It's not your fire.
Yes.
Your
It's
heat.
pre-existing
It's
fire.
A creative solution.
It is creative.
A simple problem.
I love creative. Yes. Where do we find a volcano?
What?
I will pull out
Fizzle?
the book and point out the information about the volcanic activity in a cave. Be like, you know where this cave may be located.
Oh. No, but I know where caves are. We can start searching caves, baby.
Let's go.
Oh,
How many caves?
I know at least a dozen.
Shit. Okay. That's a lot.
Which ones are the warmest?
Hmm. You know, I haven't really ever thought about it, because when I get cold, I just create fire! And he just dances around with his flames.
Ron rolls his eyes and was like, I knew it.
You asked.
What
All
might
right,
what might we find, friends, around an area that has volcanic activity? Would it have more growth? A thicker part of the jungle, perhaps? Might there be some obsidian, some black sharp rock nearby?
That's what I would say. Basalt rock. Yeah.
Yes. How big
Black
is this
rock.
island that we're on, Greg? Like miles and miles and miles?
This is probably no more than 100 miles across. But the north-south of the isle is probably like 10 or 15 miles.
Well, we only have a day's worth of supplies left.
Well,
How
Shimmer
long
Harbor
goes?
isn't that far. We can always get more, right?
Yes.
Well, have you seen? Are there maybe black rocks near some of the caves or one of the caves?
Black rocks, you say? You
Would I
know?
know?
I think I might just know a place with black rocks. Yeah, they're shiny like glass. I like to look at
Yes.
myself in them.
Ooh. I never thought of that. You're very smart.
I
Can you
am,
show us
thank
this
you.
place?
Yes, of course. Follow me. And he begins to march his way through the jungle once more, making his way maybe a couple of miles to the east and a bit further south from the northward cliffs that he was staring out to sea at. Eventually, you find yourself coming up to a spot in the jungle where it is thicker and denser and a bit more untrodden. Like there doesn't seem to be a lot of humanoid traffic through this area. He kind of begins to slap at the trees on the way by before giving up and just creating fire in his hands, just burning down foliage to create a path. And eventually he leads you to kind of a rocky area just past some of that foliage, going up into a small hill or cliffside. And there is a small cave entrance, maybe 5 foot around, big enough easily for a gnome, but would be a struggle for regular people, or regularly sized humans and whatnot. He stops and he kind of picks at some of the pebbles. He's throwing rocks in the air till eventually he finds one. He's like, "Look, black rock!" And he shows you a nice shiny glimmering piece of obsidian.
Can we feel heat coming from the vent or the cave?
He looks. You kind of feel the air, and no, it doesn't feel particularly hot from that cave.
Might be a bit down. Might be a cave
Yeah.
system. Tunnel.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'll hitch my camel around this tree stump over here.
Lim, if we're going to cook your family a meal, what do they like to eat? It'd be silly for us to go down there and not have food.
This is true. Yes. What does Mom and Pops like? Mother was a bit of a carnivore, you might say. She enjoyed herself a nice, juicy piece of buffalo. Oh, yes. She loved eating it, mostly, I think, because it was such a big creature. But, size isn't everything. I heard her say that once. My father, he's more of a sides guy, you know. He was really into vegetables and stews, and he likes a big pile of mashed taters, that type of stuff.
So maybe beef and taters?
Yes! That would be great.
Like
Where do we find a buffalo around these parts? They always seem to go off somewhere with the other families, and they would come back with this giant beast. I swear I could have fit inside and ran around when I was a kid. I might still could.
Well, we could just get a normal cow, but I'm pretty sure we can buy that at Shimmer Harbor.
Oh. Were they buying it? Oh. That's quite a large thing. I like it.
We don't have to buy the whole thing, just a piece from a butcher.
Oh. I suppose so. Yes. Well, we have a whole volcano to cook with. I mean, we could cook the whole kit and caboodle.
Yes. Food for all.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Is your family far from here?
Oh,
Yes, Robin?
no, just a few miles away.
Oh,
All right.
That makes
The
this easy.
buffalo. Do you know where they are?
No. I think yes. I think the Star-Crossed family was the ones that always knew where the buffalo were. They would go off together with the hunters, and they would come back bearing buffalo. Very, very strange. I've never seen one in the jungle wandering around. I've been out here a few years. I thought I might look. I have seen some big things. I do enjoy that. Have you seen big lizards? I mean, big lizards. I could, spend a whole day walking down the length of one of those.
Never seen one.
Ah,
Kind of scary.
I
They
had
are very
encountered
scary.
one in the dark tunnel, but merely the outlines.
you've seen the outlines. Dark tunnels. Maybe we'll see a big lizard down there. Yes!
Well, team, seems like we need to get beef and taters, and then return and then explore this cave, find the volcano, cook the meal, take the meal back to his family, and re-win this man's honor. Yes,
Did the riddle not say to bring them to the food?
Oh! A simple mistake. Oh, you're so smart. Yes. Oh, clever. We should bring the whole family to the volcano.
All right.
Well,
what the
maybe we
motorcycle
should make sure this path leads to the volcano first before we just
Yeah,
go
we have to bring
exploring.
the family.
You think clear out the cave,
Yes.
make sure it leads
Go-
to the
go to
volcano,
town.
then get the
Yes.
food?
Then go to town, buy some beef, then get the family and lead them to the cave.
I dig it. Into the tunnel we go. And he puts a flaming sphere in his hand and just starts walking in. Oh, what wonders will we find?
All right, let's follow after.
Right.
All right. You follow the strange gnome deep into the tunnel. It eventually opens up out of this little kind of 5-foot narrowness, so Hart no longer has to crawl on hands and knees to make his way through it. It opens up into kind of a large cavern. And you can see by the flicker of the fire some small kind of cave paintings, almost like finger paintings along the walls, faded with time and age. Glim doesn't stop to look at them. He is focused on finding this lava flow, and he quickly kind of passes by just quick images of them kind of dance in the light created by his flaming orb. He will lead you past them and into the deeper parts of the cave. Yes.
Grand would like to look at them at least shortly.
Uh-huh.
Greg, is this a good time to take a break?
Sure. Yeah. We can absolutely take a break here. Why don't we, take 5 minutes here, and we will come back with exploration of the cave on the other side. See you soon, everybody.
See you then.
And hello, Internet. Welcome back to Land Beyond the Mist. Just before we took our quick break, we were about to explore a long abandoned cave in the jungle island of Shimmer Harbor. The flickering flames of Glim's fires revealed some small cave paintings in and amongst the like first little open cavern area of the cave that you've gone through. He quickly tries to escape down into the rest of the cave itself, excited about finding this lava flow to cook his meal. But the party wanted to stop and investigate them to some extent. So, party, what do you do? How do you read the cave paintings? And B, what are the rest of you like? What are your plans? Expound upon this.
Yeah, I hope we get Glim to come back and give us some light. Otherwise, we could.
Glim just is single-minded. Glim is like, aha, come deeper, and just like you see him
Glim,
rounding
get back
corner.
here.
Yeah, you shout for him, but you just see him turn a corner and kind of disappear.
Right. Well, I mean, in
You might
any
need
case,
to rush after him.
yeah, someone needs to restrain him. But Grand will just use his create bonfire near the painting, and this light it sheds light, So, yeah, he will quickly try to take it all in.
Excellent.
Art will follow after Glim so he doesn't run off and fight something.
I'll follow after Hart and yell, "Hey, Glim! There's some paintings in here, and they show something cooking something. It could be
Cooking
a clue.
paintings! Oh, perfect! Good. He like turns back and rushes to like view them. Unfortunately, they are not cooking paintings. But the like faded cave paintings show a people in kind of outline. It's hard to get a view of what kind they are. They're just kind of stick figure people. And they seem to be like either celebrating or praising or worshiping along the feet of a kind of large cave system or like tunnel. And at the end of the tunnel is a large kind of a beast. It's faded and not very detailed, but the beast itself appears to have wings and is a like largish, almost like maybe lizard-like creature.
Does it look like a dragon?
It could.
Oh no.
Well, that's scary. Fizzle Spark sits down, starts resting.
10 minutes.
All right, you take 10 minutes to have a short rest. The entire time Glimmer is like, I don't see any cooking on these walls. What are you talking about? He's like scanning them. He's like,
It's a bit higher.
He's like, higher. He like scans the ceiling. He's like, I'm just not seeing it. But you get your 10 minutes to take a short rest. You may spend any number of hit dice up to 1/2 of your total pool to recover hit points, and you regain any spells and class features associated with a short rest in the player's handbook.
Greg, I'm also going to activate my Pearl of Power to get one spell slot back, and then I'm going to immediately cast Mage Armor as soon as I'm done resting.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, everyone, we're gonna have to go down this cave and potentially have to do something. Making a motion towards the cave paintings.
Yes, but be very quiet. We wouldn't want to disturb an actual dragon.
If we get close, I can help us be quiet.
Might need that.
But it only lasts for so long. So we need to get close first. Let me know when you want me to soften our steps.
And I think with Glim here, he's want to bring his own light. I don't think. I mean, we're going to be carrying a torch ourselves, so anything with vision might see us, maybe. But there's fire, there's lava down here, maybe. So I think that doesn't matter.
Okay. You begin making your way carefully down the cave. It turns out that there are a good number of twists and turns throughout the cave system. As you are making your way down, I would love for our scout to describe to us how you are going to make it through this cave system to the bottom without becoming lost or waylaid in the cave system.
For one, he committed this crude painting to memory in hopes that it might have realistic path to follow. Might be a realistic path to follow,
Mm-hmm.
and then he will, at least try to remember the path they followed to, in the worst case, find the way back out.
Okay, so you were trying to use your knowledge of the cave painting. Please give me a history check, DC 13, to make your way through this cave system.
I will use my inspiration on this to roll with advantage,
Okay.
just to be safe.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, that is a 23. It turns out that indeed the cave painting itself could be used as some kind of map, showing you remember the kind of twists and turns in the map itself, and fair enough, you find what you're looking for. It is a massive big opening in a like side tunnel that you go down, and you can start feeling the heat from the tunnel immediately upon getting down towards it. Yeah.
I think before entering, we would stop, and Grand would say, maybe we should stealthily, or either send a very stealthy scout, and he looks to Talise, or in some other way enter stealthily.
Absolutely.
You had a plan?
is this the time? All right.
Yeah,
Fizzle will
that
reach
might be
into
the
his-
time as well.
Fizzle will reach into his scroll case and pull out a scroll of Pass Without Trace.
All right.
And I will cast it on all 5 members, the 4 of us, and Glim.
All right. Excellent. You cast that on all 5 members of the party. And you begin to sneak your way forward as the heat gets hotter and the gases kind of fill your nose. You also begin to hear like breathing firm and heavy through the tunnel. Eventually, you 5 will sneak your way into an open air, like lava flow. You can see the crackling of it off to the west, and nearby it, as if like sleeping or maybe just staring deeply into the fire, is a giant lizard creature. And it looks a lot like this room here that I have been working on. Wow.
Nice.
Yes, you're sneaking in from the south side down at the bottom. And you see this massive, scaly lizard creature just like snuggled up next to the heat of the flame of the lava flow. Using your Pass Without Trace, you can get to the entrance of this room easily without being noticed. So the 5 of you appear down here at the bottom. All right.
It's a big beast.
It is indeed massive. It is much larger, probably, than any of the beasts that you've seen up until this point.
Well, it doesn't look like a dragon, does it?
Is it bigger than that young kraken I saw?
It probably is of similar size to the young kraken.
So this thing's real big. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else here that, like, are there any valuables? No, it was worshipped by some early people. I'm looking around
Sure
for anything
enough,
that looks valuable.
in a kind of offshoot of the cave, to your east, there does indeed seem to be a pile of valuables. It is hard to ascertain exactly what might be in them, but it does glitter of gold, and treasure.
Them. Shh. What if your parents ate that?
Oh my god, yes! It's so big! Yes. Size isn't everything, but when it's that big, it has to be good. Oh.
Size is everything and quiet.
Okay. I'll be more quiet.
I don't know if your fire's gonna do anything to it. It's standing next to lava.
We have to find out. I'm sure I can burn it.
Talee is already is just motioned back to the party to stay and has started to wander off towards the treasure pile.
Okay.
Quietly, obviously.
Please make me a dexterity self saving throw. You will, of course, get a +10 bonus to the check, as long as you are within 30 feet of the caster of the spell.
So at least for the first 30 feet of this, I'm going to have a 38 down to a 28, I guess, once I
Okay.
more than 30 feet away from him, which I'm sure I will.
The creature does not notice you, Talese, as you easily make your way past the creature and appear in front of a massive pile of treasure. There seems to be a mound of coins and jewels and old pieces of treasure. There is also some interesting, old weapons and armor seemingly piled up here. There is a ancient-looking spear with strange feathers that are oversized for birds that you might see, kind of dangling off of it along the length of its shaft. These feathers are vibrant hues of violet and gold and these bright neon colors you don't expect to see occurring naturally on feathers. And it is tipped with the black obsidian that you have found at the entrance to this tunnel. You also will find a essentially tribal ensemble of armor. It has similar feathering and painting on it. It does seem small sized for a human, but it is made of a thick piece of leather, maybe an inch and a half thick, and appears to be very heavy for the type of armor that it's made out of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to try to scoop 5 pounds of the coins into my backpack.
Sure.
And then I'm going to grab the spear.
Okay.
And I'm going to try
Excellent.
to sneak back over to my party.
Yes. Sounds good. You can sneak back, no problem, having the stealth check that you rolled. You are dominating.
I will look over at Hart and offer a spear.
He'll take a hand to it, put it one of the loops through his backpack because he can't use it right now. We have to, in a hushed voice, we have to cook here. That thing's there. It's our meal, right? All right.
It's gonna have to be what it is. We don't have any taters though. Very sad.
I don't think we need taters. Just a meal. we can get a bit closer and then attack.
Yeah.
Yes. Rod, any preparations you have, do them now.
Well, I could cast slow on it. That might be a good idea.
I think
As
that's
you
a great way
said,
to start.
I doubt any of our fired spells will do much damage to it if it's living down here.
Hold on. If if you let me get the first shot, I'm sure I can deal some damage.
All right.
As I start to load my crossbow.
All right.
Okay.
I think I'm going to cast.
I think. Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
All right.
No,
I'll
go
cast
ahead.
mirror image preemptively
Okay.
right when I see the crossbow starting to come up.
Okay. You cast mirror image. The crossbow starts to come up. Grond, what are you doing?
And Grond would, right when the bolt is fired, also start casting slow on it.
Arch just dodging in place with the shield
Okay.
up, like ready.
Heart, you're just preparing for something happening. All right, the crossbow bolt fires. Twing! It flies across the short distance before burying itself into the hide of the creature. Go ahead, Talise, and give me a roll to hit at advantage. That is a 19. That will hit the creature. And go ahead and roll me your damage.
Less isn't active right now.
Yeah.
Sensor
yeah,
is
sorry.
down. Does an 18 hit?
Does an 18 hit? Yes, it does.
Okay.
And do uncheck that. And crossbow. Oh, sorry, I rolled it down.
That is 14 points of damage at the creature. The creature raises itself up on its fours and roars. And it lumbers its way towards you. As that happens, we have a slow spell cast. Excellent. They will make a wisdom saving throw against the spell. This is just a flat D20 for them. That is a 2. They will fail. All right, their speed is halved. They have a penalty to attack. Sounds great.
No, a penalty to AC and dexterity -2.
Cool.
And if it, I don't think it casts spells, right? So
No,
that
it doesn't
matter.
cast spells.
Yeah, so no penalty to attack. Just actually the penalty to attack is it can only make one attack per round,
Beautiful.
and it can't use.
All right, Fizzle Spark, what were you casting?
Mirror image, good sir. I've
Beautiful,
put 3
your mirror
dots on
image is
myself
up.
already.
With that, everybody, roll me into initiative.
There we go.
Single digit strong once again.
11.
Single digit strong. I like it. This creature is going to roll at -3. That is 11.
I like to see the battlefield before I act.
All right. Yeah, no, I understand. So we have Fizzle Spark at 7, Ground at 11, Heart at 11, Corn at 14. You're all in there. Beautiful. And this is going at 11 as well. So the first to respond is none other than Talise. What are you doing as all of these spells and arrows go off? The creature roars up into the sky and then it looks down at you. What do you do?
Let's see. So it flew up into the sky. That was what it did.
It doesn't fly. It just it stood up on its massive
gotcha.
legs and is staring down at you.
All right. I am going to back myself up a little bit, just a little bit, and I will ready an action to shoot a crossbow bolt if it becomes adjacent to one of my friends.
Okay. Excellent. So you do. Grond, it is your turn. What will you do?
Yeah, I maintain concentration, obviously, on the spell, and then I will wait. How far are we? Should be good. Yeah, just in range. I will cast. Wait, no, actually, it's 90 feet, right? I will cast Toll the Dead on this beast. So give me a Wisdom save.
Alrighty. That is an 11. That is a fail. It will take 11 points of damage. Heart, it is your turn. What will you do?
Heart goes upward. Hold on. Oops. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, directly to this big beast.
Mm-hmm.
As you hear a twang of a crossbow bolt be fired from behind you.
Beautiful. The 13 will miss.
Right, they can't see the map.
It impales itself into the thick hide of the creature, but doesn't seem to draw blood.
Heart will make an attack with a flail.
All right.
One more. Without the sensor, so
19 will hit.
for 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. You flail against the creature.
And this creature is marked. There's no one around. It doesn't do anything.
Okay, excellent. You have marked the creature. It roars up again on its hind legs. It looks down at you and is going to attempt to stomp you out. It will make its attack. That is 25 to hit you. It comes down with both of its legs, trampling on your armor and you. Please take for me 37 points of bludgeoning damage and make me a DC 14 strength saving throw.
I will, and I pass.
All right, it tramples down on you. You feel yourself getting crushed like a tin can, but you manage to just maintain your feet. You stand up and you are not knocked prone. The dino then is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet and stop. Talise.
Does it have 60 feet total?
Yep.
Okay, it can make a wisdom save again to get rid of the slow.
Ah, beautiful. It will save against the slow. Unsuccessfully.
I believe Fizzle Spark should get a turn before me.
This is true.
Did I skip Fizzle Spark? How did that happen?
I was right after the dino. It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I wouldn't have let you skip me.
I'm sorry. Fizzle Spark, go! It's your turn. What do you do as this dino is crashing its way towards you?
I will step out to this location right here and say, "Stay behind me, armored wizard!" And then I will cast web. And I will try to ensnare this creature against this rock here, this rock here.
Is there a size limit on web?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
But it should be trivial for the beast to free itself.
It'll be able to break out of it super easy.
Yeah.
It's insane strength. No size.
I don't
But
think there's
it
a
will be
size
a-
limit.
It
This
will
is
at
going to be a
least
one-turn disable.
It doesn't look like there is a size limit at all, no. Okay, excellent. Your 20-foot cube is anchored here.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, perfect. Then we'll let you...
I'm going to anchor it. Want to anchor it just like that, so it leaves an open space for Mr. Hart and for everybody else to shoot, but blocks him and holds him there. He needs to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Absolutely.
DC 14, and he's at -2 for dex saves.
Yes, he is. That is a 6. He fails as he is struck
Yes.
by the webbing.
He is now restrained,
Indeed.
and I am concentrating on web as I draw more squares on myself because I'm on the wrong tool. And I will back up 5 extra feet. Apparently, the square is permanently a part of Fizzle Spark. It's just in his hair now. We're gonna leave it like that, and that's my turn.
All right, perfect. Talise, you see this creature bound by a restraining web as it is struggling with it, trying to break out. What do you do?
Yeah, I see the thing nearly stomp Hart Fuller in half. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting close to that.
Good idea.
And I'm going to shoot a crossbow bolt at it.
All right, please do.
Should be at advantage, so a 16.
16 will hit.
You make sure you attack on 22.
It is 13 points of damage. Brilliant. The creature roars its displeasure as it tries to break free. Grond, it comes to you. You see it struggling with the webs. What do you do?
I will pull out my wand of magic missile and basically dump the entire. Well, actually, no, I won't. Yeah, I will just cast a level 1 because I think, yeah, dumping it won't. Well, actually, yeah, okay, I will dump it. So I will cast a 6th level magic missile,
Okay.
which means. Wait, how many magic missiles is that? It's 3 plus.
Plus 5.
2 plus 5, yes. So 8.
8d4 plus 8.
Yeah. Give me a sec. There.
All right, we have 16, 22, 6, 31 points of damage. Your missiles go pop, 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 just smacking this creature. It roars its displeasure as it takes 31 points of damage. All right. That is...
Yeah, and that's it for me. And I keep concentrating up.
Heart, it is your turn. What will you do?
His bones chittering after just pushing himself out of the way through this immense force of a foot of this dinosaur. He will second wind for 12. Very nice.
Very nice.
And it's restrained. It's slowed. I will disengage and move right there, so it can't hit me.
All right, beautiful. You move out of the way. The dino rips and tears and attempts to break free from the webs around it. It is going to succeed at doing so with a 19, wrenching itself free of the webbing. And it is going to go towards the group here. 5, 10, 15 is all it's going to be able to do because the web is also difficult terrain. Fizzle Spark, it is your turn. You see the dino free of your web and coming your way. What do you do?
That's fine. I drop concentration on the web so that Heart has a clear path to come back towards it.
Beautiful.
Maybe if he decides to do so, it accomplishes its goal. And I...
Interruption. Wisdom
Yes.
save from the dino.
Wisdom save
Well,
from the
thank you.
dino for slow. Beautiful, yes. It continues to suck and be slowed.
Wonderful. And I think Fizzle Spark will also... do I want to save my spell slots? I don't think so. I think there's much I can use them for. I will spend a first level spell slot to cast Magic Missile 3 times.
All right, please
Or-
do.
3 missiles. There we go. There's
That
11
is
damage that pops
11
in.
more points of damage. That is enough to bloody this creature.
Wonderful. And I will valiantly stand in front of this creature, protecting my armored wizard and my rogue friend, and say, "Come at me."
Grond is appreciative.
Sure.
All right. Delise, it is your turn. What will you do?
Why are my friends so bad at distracting creatures for me?
I could have stepped 5 feet closer, I guess. I'm so sorry.
As I once again hold my attack for when one of my friends is adjacent to it.
There you go.
All right. Grond, it is your turn. What will you do?
All right, Grond is gonna order his owl to fly at it and distract it,
Okay.
and then he is going to cast Toll the Dead. So I need another Wisdom save.
Okay. That is a fail. It will take 8 more points of damage. And it is distracted. Heart.
Does the owl flying near count as one of his friends?
No. He needs an ally.
I assume your owl hooted and then scooted away.
It did.
Yes.
It did. It was
did.
hooting and scooting.
All right, but don't worry, because here comes Hart from behind, giving Talise the shot.
Hey! You rush forward, and then out of nowhere, twang! The bolt flies forward, striking the creature. For 14 more points of damage. Beautiful.
Hart then brings up his flail and down onto the beast. 21 to hit for 12 bludgeoning,
12
marking the
bludgeoning.
trigger, distracting it. And then he will action surge and dodge himself.
Your 21 would have been at an advantage. Do you want to fish for a crit?
I would have consumed that.
Oh, you would have. That's right. You did consume that. Never mind. I lied. You did roll an advantage,
yeah.
right? Yes, you did.
Yeah, I had thought that the owl would count, but it was just an idea.
Beautiful.
It
It's
gave me
fine.
advantage.
The thing is marked.
It is marked once more. The dino turns to you, annoyed and hurting in pain. It raises its tail and tries to slam it down upon you, Hart.
It ignored me? A little sad.
Well,
That's the tail
he
on
was
the
coming
dino.
for you, but Hart ran up to him and marked him, so
That's fair.
you gonna slam Hart.
Yeah. Just-
Will a 21 hit you?
Roll again, because I action surge to dodge.
Huh?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
It was
You
in-
action
it
surge
was-
to dodge. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay. How about a 26?
21 hits me.
All right. The creature's tail is a little harder than the other one. It does 68 plus 5.
Let me take the hit.
That is 31 points of bludgeoning damage as its tail comes slamming down, trying to crumble you. And then it's going to move forward 5, 10, 15. I guess you could take an attack of opportunity at it if you would like.
That I will.
All right.
I missed.
Oh, your flail slams into its like toughened hide around its legs. 25, 30. I guess it's gonna move 30 to there, so it's not like on top of the ledge. It is trying to get a 2-for-1. Fizzle Spark! It is your turn. What will you do?
I will not let it. I will move here
Wait,
and jump up and down.
It can save again.
Save on the slope.
Slow.
Save on the slow. I appreciate you reminding me. No, it's still slow.
I will stand in front of it, wave up and down, and say, "Not my minions. You will come for me." And then Fizzle Spark will like use the grappling hook and punch it in the face. No.
Oh, yes. That's hilarious.
You know what? I want to use the grappling hook and try to punch it in the face. I don't want to grapple it and go up there. I just want to distract it and get it focused on me.
I like it.
What-
You
what can I
grapple
use
up
for
to
that?
the top and just like punch it in the face as best you can. The creature's and it does.
You know what?
It looks
If I
right
can get
at
up
you.
there, I'll just I'll just stay right there then. I'll stay grappled to it and just keep hitting it. I'll tell you what.
You just like
I'll grab-
hanging, just like uppercutting its jaw.
What else do I have? Yep. No, I'll hang there, grapple, just keep punching it repeatedly and see if I can get it to attack me on my turn.
Do you want to roll me a unarmed strike against the creature?
Sure.
Oh,
You
its
hit-
hide is too tough, but you are annoying it greatly with your uppercuts.
That's fine.
All right. Talise, you see your ally dangling by a grappling hook from a peg leg, like thrusting up at this creature's face, distracting it. What do you do?
Not one, but 4 Fizzle Sparks.
Right,
punching it
4
simultaneously.
fizzle sparks are all thrusting simultaneously at the creature's face.
Now I'm distracting it for you.
Yes, this man knows how to be a distraction. I must give him credit. As I pull out yet another crossbow bolt and aim for its chest.
All right. Please give me that roll to hit. 15 will hit.
Why do I have advantage?
Because he is being distracted.
Okay.
It's getting hooted and scooted by 4 gnomes.
Cool.
Fair enough.
That
Yeah, good
is
damage.
20 points of damage. Excellent. That is enough to bring it to death's door. Grand, it is your turn. What will you do?
Get it, Grant.
Right. Grand will move first. Here. There. And then he will. I guess he will order his owl to hoot and scoot again. Can't hurt. And then cast another Toll the Dead. He'll give me another wisdom save.
All right, a wisdom save it is. It fails. It will take 11 more points of damage.
That's it for me.
All right, Heart, it comes to you. It's your turn. What will you do?
Heart hides behind this pillar, takes the hide action.
I don't blame you, and we'll be fine.
All
Let's
right.
I roll a 7. That's my turn.
All right, excellent. The dino will go. The dino has this gnome, like set of gnomes punching him in the face. He can't get his tail around to hit you. He's trying to figure out what to do. He is going to attempt to shake you off violently. It's just going to and like try to shake you off with its grappling hook. It is going to set its DC for you. That is going to be a DC 19 to hold on. Give me athletic strength or acrobatics dexterity to maintain your your hold on like the peg leg or like the grappling hook to like stay in on the creature.
We'll absolutely go with acrobatics. I think
All right.
I have about a 15% chance of passing this grade,
Ooh.
but I'm going to try. No.
Oh no! You and the 4 gnomes come falling off of this creature. It is about 30 feet tall.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Gnome, please take from me. Oops.
There's more than that, right?
Yep. Please take from me 8 points of falling damage.
My arcane ward will absorb all of it.
Oh my goodness. You just feel this like arcane shield just like buffet against the ground and keep you nice and safe.
It's like a warm hug, Greg. Like a warm hug. I'm fine. I stare up at it.
Beautiful.
Is that the best you can do?
That is going to be the dino's action. And it's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. As Nan is going to go 30, so it can be touching all of you. It wants all of you, and then it'll save against slow. Unsuccessfully. Fizzle Spark, it is your turn. What will you do?
I will hit it with 3 more magic missiles, Greg.
All right. please
Because
do.
the distraction is there and it's done. It's time for as much damage as I can deal.
2,
take
5, 9 points of
9
damage. Is not quite enough to fell the creature.
Sorry, I have friends.
Nice. All right, the magic missiles strike into its backside. It like and shakes its ass at you, trying to like get rid of the sting. Talise, it is your turn. It is right up next to you as you've picked up your dagger. What do you do?
I draw my second dagger and bring the bolt down on it.
Beautiful. The 12 will be a miss. The 11 will be a miss.
Uh-oh.
You slash at the like hide of this creature, but it just is so thick that you can't penetrate it to get score the vital blow. Grand, it is your turn. What will you do?
Alright, I will cast Misty Step as my spell,
Okay.
as a bonus action.
I know that you cast a spell, so
Well, I wasn't expecting a fire-resistant enemy, so if we had faced anything else, it would have been better. Yeah. Actually, no. Wait a minute. It doesn't have reactions. It can't even do a
That is correct.
attack of opportunity. So I don't even need to cast this. I will just move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because of my Boots of Freedom, I can move that much.
Mhm.
And I will cast Toll the Dead again.
All right, it will make a wisdom save. One of these days it's gonna roll, okay? Not this time, though.
Yes.
Give me that damage roll.
Big one.
For
9.
9 points of damage. That
Load.
is enough. As the creature hears the sonorous sound of the bells as they echo through the cavern, boom, you can see where its wounds begin to rip apart. The places where the knives have like cut into the skin, where the magic missiles have made it weak. Where the stabs from Heart are still fresh. The wounds like rip open from the reverberations of the necromantic bell, and the creature falls, and it dies. Glim is excited. Ah! Let there be meat!
Good job,
Elise
Glim.
looks on
Nice
in
fight.
horror as it falls, hoping it lands on none of her babies. As I shot 5 crossbow bolts that time. You want me to roll 5d2?
Please do.
Ooh, it fell on 4 out of
It
5.
fell directly on 4 of them. You can hear the snap of the bolts as it fell. You are saddened by this, but one lonely heroic bolt still like stands on its like own.
As you just see a tear run down her face. No.
Clutching at his
Beautiful.
chest. Everyone all right?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm
Great
limping
job.
here.
Tanking that beast. Fizzlespark will walk along its back, heroically stand on top of its head with his activating his cloak so it billows, reclaim his peg leg, and then gently boop it on the nose.
You boop
All right.
the large dino on the nose. Glim just like has like his hands like full of fire and begins like jabbing at the creature, like and he begins cutting through it. I'm gonna get the steak.
No,
But don't
we
cook the steak with
prevent
fire.
him from using his fire on it.
He's like, no, I want to cut the thing open.
We came down here for the volcano's fire. Remember? God.
Use
I know
the
you're
lava
very
to cut the snake out. Yes.
engaged.
yes. Are any of you capable of grabbing lava? I don't know if I am.
Have you considered a knife?
Yes, we could cut it open and put the chunks on maybe some sticks.
Oh, that's
Hold the
slow.
ball with lava.
Fine. You do it.
Just set it on the rocks near the
No,
fire.
you must
It'll
do
cook
it.
itself.
This is your work for your family. You must prove your patience, your restraint.
It's gonna take so long. Are you sure? Just a little flame, right?
No.
I will walk up to Glim, put my hand on his shoulder, and be like, Glim, this will be for the good. Your family will think you have learned a valuable lesson, but we both know that you will use your fire now, again, always, forever. But if you fool them, thinking that you have learned humility, they will accept you back. It's for the greater good, friend.
You are a very wise gnome. Very good. Let us the butchering begin. He like pulls like the babyest knife you've ever seen. It's like maybe like 2 inches out from behind his back. He's like, ha! And he's beginning to saw at the creature. Yes, that is exactly what it is. And he begins sawing dutifully at this creature, attempting to dehide it and get a stake out.
This will take probably 4 to 6 hours. Heart
It will take
takes
a
rest,
long
friend.
time, yes.
Well, we need to go get Potatoes and his family, right?
And treasure.
And treasure.
I think Heart needs to rest. I will watch the gnome.
Yeah, Grand
And they-
and Talise will take stock of what's lying around here.
Okay,
Alright.
there are rocks, there are lava, there is the gold pile, and there is a spear and the tribal armor, and a big beast and a like really sweaty gnome.
Gron will put the gold and the armor. I think the spear we already took into the bag of holding.
Oh, he's holding on to it. Hard is.
Okay. Perfecto. So the rest of you go and get Taters and the family. Is that what I hear?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. You make a trip down to Shimmer Harbor through the jungle. You are not molested by any encounters along the way. You find a roaring kind of port with a channel between the like two islands that you can kind of see across, but you wouldn't really be able to like get there easily without a boat. You can see boats coming in and then like arguing and trying to negotiate prices, getting like stocks full of crates and things, and then heading off. You see some people disembarking and wandering the streets. They're loudly hawking their goods on either side. Eventually, you will find some potatoes that you can negotiate down a price for. Negligible amounts of coin for a big bag of potatoes. And eventually, you make your way back. As you look for this Nomish village, it's hard to find. At first, you just think you've been given bad directions from the strange gnome friend Glim that you found. But eventually, you come to realize that it's kind of protected almost. There's illusory magic at work that makes your eyes just kind of slide right off of it. But eventually, you work this out, and you make your way into the village proper. You can see a number of little tiny houses, all about gnome sized, in like essentially a big ring around what would be an open town square, where there is a statue of 3 gnomes in different sorceress poses and water like pouring out of their hands into a fountain. Everyone here is dressed in robes, and they look up concerned at the intruders as they're like, "Oh, we've been found! Oh, this is very strange. Visitors? Was there any visitors scheduled? I didn't see any visitors scheduled. This is, oh my goodness!" And they begin running every which way, crisscrossing like a honeycomb of bees. Before eventually 3 gnomes come striding out towards you. One dressed in a red shimmering cloak, very similar to Glim's. One in a cloak like the dark starry sky with shimmering little star points in the like black of the knight's cloak, and the final one in a like a verdant deep green cloak that almost like seems invisible in the places where your eye meets it in the edge of the forest. And as they approach, they say, "Well, this is certainly a surprise. Some new faces here in town. Welcome, of course, to Nom City."
Grand will approach them and say, "Greetings. I'm Grand. I'm a fellow magic user. We are looking for Glim's parents. The
one in the red cloak just kind of puts her like fingers to her temple and goes, "Oh, you're kidding me. What did the boy do now?"
Well, he sent us to fetch you because he is trying to prove you that he solved the riddle and is worthy of being allowed back into town."
You want us to be fetched?
Yes,
does the boy
he
not
wants to
understand?
show you. He wants to show you that how he solves the riddle.
She looks to either side and goes, "All right, well, let's go see, I suppose. Somebody get Snarglefoot over here. He'll want to see too." And like a whole band of gnomes kind of follows the 2 red shimmering cloaks off into the aisle. They're like, oh, Glimmer's gonna do something silly again, isn't he? Oh, I can't wait to see them react. Like, there's just like tittering off in the background. And sure enough, almost a whole village ends up following you back to this mighty cave.
Well, we bring them to the large magma chamber where hopefully Glim has made some progress.
As they enter, Fizzle Spark will be up on a small ledge, cape billowing in the breeze, and be like, "Welcome, friends and family! Glim is here to atone and make right what has been wrong. Come, enter.
They all give you like curt little like bows and give you quizzical looks, and then just kind of wander back into the cave. You see the whole village like, oh, a new gnome. I wonder if he's coming. I don't know. His cape looks a little different. Why is it moving so much? I don't know. What? They just like they all make their way in. Eventually, you come across the central kind of pit of the lava flow again. You can see two large rocky outcroppings that have now been braced with a big wooden spike. And the wooden spike is impaling this immense dinosaur, and this little gnome is like cranking the wooden spike as much as he can. It's like, aha, look, rotisserie! There are pots of like giant pots of water, like almost boiling and overflowing on the ground next to the lava flow from the heat. And he goes, and science! And he presents a feast of roast dino and taters to the entire village. And there was much rejoicing. One of the elders goes, oh, I'll be just right back. Give me a moment. And he like claps his hands and disappears. And after a brief bit comes back, poof, I have brought ale. And there's just like barrels of ale rolling into town. And a whole feast is had. Everyone who has taken any damage or lost any spells, you are completely refreshed by the feast of dino and ale and taters here in the cave. You'll get the benefits of a night's not a night's rest, of a long rest per the player's handbook. Full restoration of your hit points, recovery of your hit dice, spells, class features, all the good stuff. As you have a revelry throughout the night here in the cave. Eventually, Glim will have a talk with his two parents. They kind of rub their heads like, okay, this was not the answer we had in mind. However, this is a lot of effort and some great creativity. I mean, look, you spit roasted a rotisserie dino for the whole village over a lava flow. I mean, it's not really in spirit with the rules, but we'll have to say that we are impressed. And we will lift your banishment. And Glim is like, huzzah! And immediately, like, a lights fire. They're like, Jay, keep that down. But after the end of the revelry, Glim will come up to you all. He says, thank you, good sirs. It was with your help that I was able to conquer this mighty riddle and preserve my place amongst the sorceress families of Nom City. Now, I must, of course, reward you. I would be remiss not to. And he pulls out a number of items as he looks between you each and goes, I'll let you make your pick. I have these available, and you can choose which one you would like. He whips off a cloak from his body, the one that shimmers like a dazzling flame. He says, this is a cloak of resistance, yes. It will gird you against flames, and also give you some +1 to saves. And he like folds it up and places it on the ground. And he lifts up his like pocket flap and pulls out a small pouch. And he goes, this is a pouch of almonds. And he lays it down next to the cloak. And this is a scholar's outfit, and he like takes a small like package of clothing, yet not his own, but like he takes out like some folded ones from side to side, and he places it around the like around the cloak. And he goes, "This here is the scholar's outfit they grant to graduating students of the Nomish Academy. I have no need for it, for I am far greater than a mere student. But this here will give you a mighty boost to your own competence and confidence." And he lays it out. And then he says, this is a cursed book, but I quite like it. It entertains me. And he lays it down next to the other items. Choose which one you would like. They are yours.
We all get to choose?
These are the 4 items that are your reward. You get to choose which one you want to take.
I mean, Fizzle Spark would probably go for the scholar's outfit, although Gron might try and fight it for it.
Yeah, but I want to ask, like, are we going to roll for it anyway afterwards, or yeah? Huh?
If you would like, we can just gather all of these up and roll for them at the end. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
All right.
You gather them all up, choosing your items, and you are free. You have solved the great riddle, and you have secured Glim's place amongst his family.
Excellent. Well, I believe we still have a small last leg of the journey. Are you ready and willing, everyone?
We might not
You
have
still
enough
wish-
time. But if you
You
want.
still wish to go to Cragmorn?
I would like to, yes, if possible.
What do you wish to achieve there?
I mostly wish to introduce myself and maybe find out what they are about and speak to their leader, if possible.
A gnome will pop up next to you and be like, "Oh, you don't want to do that. They don't let anybody up on the plateau. It is a no-go zone. Nobody who climbs the plateau comes back. I wouldn't suggest it. If the leader wants, if the king of Cragmorn wants to talk to you, he will come and talk to you himself, I am sure. He shows up from time to time. But I wouldn't anticipate an invitation anytime soon."
I see. And do they have a representation? Maybe in Shimmer Harbor, since it is so close by, or relatively close by?
They have representatives everywhere in the world. You never know one until they introduce themselves. Little weirdos up there. I wouldn't worry about it. You're better off down here with us. Here, have another leg of dino.
Hey!
As we are feasting,
Bandaged
Greg,
and splinted.
Fizzle Spark will pull Glim aside. Say, Glim,
Yes.
I have a favor to ask.
Oh?
A small one, but one I feel you will instantly accept. There is a shaman in the woods.
Yes.
He dissected some squirrels. This angers me. I need you
Oh?
to check on him. He made an oath to me that he would no longer harm squirrels. If he does, I will grab him, one hand on the side of the face, one hand on the side of the face, and pull it in towards me. Burn his hut to the ground.
Gotcha!
And then I will leave.
Glim like is playing with fire in the corner, like
Well, Grand will think about what the gnome said, and will remember that there was a quest once by Cragmorn, but it disappeared. So he thinks maybe next time, as soon as the next quest from Cragmorn appears, he will accept it. That should be a sort of invitation.
Okay. With that,
Alright.
you go to return home. For the return trip, you can buy rations at Shimmer Harbor. You can get a ship to take you there. I guess we should roll for some encounters along the way. It's a 2-day journey. So let us roll.
We have to pay 25 again, right, for the return, or not?
Yes.
Yes.
You will.
Please do so.
That is a 4 and a 5 for the first day. There are no encounters. The second day is a half day. That is a 4 as well. And there are no encounters on your way back to Rhymeview. You pay for your ship. You spend your time sailing through the seas, bellies full of dino, extra dino packed in your backs, some mugs of free ale from the gnomish village. And it is a passage of revelry amongst the crew. Everyone seems to be having a real good time. And eventually, you find yourselves back at Rhymeview. The mission behind you, a success, and it's time to add up some gold and some experience for you all. So I'm going to add that up and get you guys some reputation and all that fun stuff. And while I do, I am going to turn it over to you to give yourself some shout outs, tell people where they can find you on the internet, whatever it may be. So I'm going to turn it over to Shadow and let you go first here while I add everything up.
Quickly, but while you're adding up, Hart, did you want us to remove the cost for the rations?
I'm going to do that after he does that. Don't worry.
Okay.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Scarlet Shoutout with 2 W's. I stream some Dragon Warrior Randomizer. I've been streaming a lot of Dome Keeper lately, and I just got my email from Twitch that I hit affiliate. So eventually I'll get a sub button and hopefully some emotes, which should be fun. Maybe I'll get a cape that billows in the breeze. I'll talk to Timber about that one. That would be awesome. Let's throw it over to Mr. Underground next.
Mr. Underground, player of heart. You can find me at twitch.tv/Greg Hansen every now and then. And who knows, maybe sometime on John Dungeon Master in the future.
Excellent. Let's go to Discourse Book.
Well, you can also only find me on Greg's channel. I would just want to say thanks again to Greg. Another really fun adventure. And maybe hopefully in the future we'll see me again or Grond again on a adventure to Cragmorn. That would be cool. Yeah, so thanks again, Greg. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And Koron, do you have any shout-outs?
I don't have any big shout-outs for myself. You can't find me anywhere consistently. I might be here on Greg Hansen's stream. I might be on Mega's stream in the near future. But mostly just a shout out to Greg and everybody in the community for being awesome. And I found a whole bunch of fun D&D games, even outside of Greg's, through this community. And everybody's super cool here.
Awesome. I love to hear that. That is fantastic. Okay. One question before we dive into stuff. We got ourselves a flower, or a lotus flower for selling. Do you have any black market contacts for that flower to sell it off?
I have 10 rep with the Midnight Consortium.
10 rep with the Midnight Consortium. Let me double check the Midnight Consortium rep table here.
Yes.
Access to thieves' tools, basic poisons and items. Okay. You don't have use of the fences that can sell their contraband without finding your own buyer. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to give you less gold for that than you would normally get, or you can choose to keep it and sell it when you have more reputation.
No, we're selling it.
Okay. In that case, I want each of you to take home 175 gold pieces each.
Good.
I want each of you to take home 950 experience points each. And you, for completing this riddle with the gnomish circle, may gain 10 reputation to a guild of your choice.
Oh, that's sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Plus 10 with House Mother Regina, please.
You absolutely can, yeah.
All right.
All right. With that, we have some magic items here for you all to discuss. So, we have the Seawater Shield. It is made of the turtle. That is a +1 magic shield. And where's my description on that? I lost it. I just had it.
It grants immunity to gaseous breath weapons.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm just double checking. There it is. Yep, immunity to gaseous breath weapons. You got it. That is a +1 magic shield with immunity to gaseous breath weapons from the Draconic engravings. There is a cursed decanter of endless water. That it sprays out seawater, complete with crustaceans, barnacles, and occasional creatures of the sea. We have
Quick question: Is it cursed because you can't drink the water, or does it have a real curse?
No, that is the curse. That
water.
it is seawater.
Okay, but I think the decanter does it have this spray attack or something? Or is that a different
I
item?
believe the one you're thinking of is the broken incanter, but it will have all the properties of a decanter of endless water, but it is seawater with crustaceans occasionally that mess you up. You have a legendary spear of an ancient tribe. This spear has a name in a long forgotten language. You are free to rename it yourself. But the spear is as follows. It is a +2 spear, bonus attack and damage rolls. You may use your wisdom modifier instead of your strength modifier for this weapon's attack and damage. While you wield or carry the spear, your maximum hit points will increase by 10. When you are wielding the spear, it has a thrown range of 100/300.
Jesus.
For its range. When you roll initiative with the spear in hand, you may throw it to any distance within its maximum range. This throw cannot attack a creature, but all enemies in a cone length equal to the distance that you throw the spear will roll a wisdom saving throw of DC 12 or be frightened of you and up to 4 creatures you choose for 1 minute.
Shit.
No other creature than you can pick the spear up from where it lands unless you are dead.
All right.
Damn. That is a legendary weapon.
It is a legendary weapon of a different time. And then you have some tribal armor. This armor is very thick, padded leather armor. It is heavy as a property. And while wearing said armor, excuse me, you and are attuned to it, you will gain a pool of 3d6 hit points at the beginning of combat. Whenever you take damage, this pool absorbs the damage instead until it reduces to 0, and then you start taking any remaining damage.
That sounds like a thief armor.
Heavy though.
Heavy as a property means it's heavy armor, or it's
padded armor. Padded armor is
Disadvantage.
heavy as well, so it's like padded armor basically.
It's a disadvantage on stealth checks.
It's a disadvantage on
Yes.
stealth checks, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is those. The last thing that you got were magical seeds. The magic seeds are let me see if I can get this description exactly. Are things that you can throw at either a shrub on the ground or at trees. You can throw up to 4 of them. When they land on the ground, or a shrub, they take root and sprout into awakened shrubs. When you throw them at a tree, that takes root into the tree and causes it to be awakened. These awakened shrubs or trees will be friendly to you and help you in the case of combat. The enchantment will last until 10 minutes are up.
And then we still have the 4 items from the gnomes, right?
Yes, you are right. The items from the gnome are a cloak of resistance +1 that also provides resistance to fire. The pouch of almonds is a pouch of almonds. You may pull out a pouch, an almond from the pouch at any time, and you have a sweet, delicious almond.
Nice.
It's a magic pouch of almonds.
Quick question: cloak of resistance, is it cloak of protection or resistance?
It is a cloak of resistance +1. It gives +1 to saves and resistance to fire.
Okay, so not to AC, like a cloak of protection.
Yeah. Yes. The scholar's outfit will grant you +1 to your spell casting modifier while you wear it. Or I said modifier to your spell casting attribute. So if you have 17 intelligence, you'll go to 18. That type of thing.
Oh, okay. How much do you have? Sorry.
Me? I have 16 normally.
Yeah, I have a straight number as well.
We have
okay.
a cursed book.
The cursed book is a book written about magic. Though it's not a spell book. Think more like the 404 class guide to advanced illusions type of book. However, it is cursed, and when you open it, you will find that it is a sentient book that sings "Take on Me," and makes it impossible to read.
Nice.
So, let's start up at the top. Who would like to lay claim to the Seawater Shield?
Yeah, Gron would like to.
Art would like to.
Okay. Anyone else? Sounds like it's just you two. Go ahead and give me D100s, each of you.
84.
86.
Nice.
Wow. Gron,
Yeah.
please take a Seawater Shield.
Hell yeah.
Would
Now
anyone
you have
like
to get in actual
the...
combat.
It'll happen. It'll happen, and I will be happy to have the shield. I know it already.
Would any of you like the Cursed Decanter of Endless Water?
Yeah, I just checked the decanter of water, and it has this geyser mode.
It's like a normal decanter of water.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all the functions and features.
All the functions, features, just salt water and occasional crustaceans.
Yeah.
I would put a roll in
Okay.
on that, please.
Sounds like
Okay.
3 of you are rolling for it?
No, I'll pass on it. Yeah.
You'll pass on it. Okay. So, Corin and Shadow, it looks like. 54! Fizzlespark, please take the Cursed Decanter of Endless Water.
There's one more magic item we forgot. The magical chest and lock.
The
Yeah,
magical
true.
chest and lock are just enchanted to never rust or break. So
Oh.
if you tried to break the lock open, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
I guess if you would like that, we can add it to to the
Ooh,
list.
can we exchange that to one of the guilds for reputation?
You absolutely can.
Is everybody
Yeah.
okay with that?
I think
That
the
would be
Merchants
really
Guild
good,
would
yeah.
love that, right?
The Merchants Guild. Oh my god, yes.
The
Is everybody
Merchants
okay with
Guild
Merchants
does
Guild?
indeed love it.
Yeah,
Please
I
take
agree as well.
please take 10 reputation to the Whitewater Merchants Guild.
Hell yeah, I'm
Amazing.
back to 0.
Mr. Underground, great memory. Well done. That's a big deal.
All right.
No, actually, +5 even.
Would anyone like the bag of magic seeds?
Sure.
Me too.
Bart will take it. Or no,
Yeah, take it.
sorry, seeds, not almonds. No thanks.
Nope.
We could also give it away.
I'll take the seeds. It sounds like
Yeah,
they're a
seeds are
good
good.
way to generate sneak attack for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they are. You should take it.
All right. The bag of magic seeds goes to you. Go ahead and roll me 5d10 plus 5.
Oh, that's fun. Why?
Oh well.
There are
Oh,
34
Yeah.
magic seeds in the bag before it is exhausted. Who would like the tribal armor?
I guess.
Okay. Looks like you're unopposed. Koran, take yourself the tribal armor. Who would like the legendary spear?
yes.
Well,
That's
I was
amazing.
gonna roll on it if Hart had taken away my shield, but I'll pass.
I can't take a legendary spear away from a fighter. That would just be wrong.
All right. Hart, you have a legendary spear. Would you like to christen it with a name?
The name will be Blitz.
Blitz. Its name in this new era will be Blitz.
I just really wanted you to call it Heart's Piercer.
Oh my god, it's done. Heart Piercer.
Great.
Done.
Oh, that's
All
such a
right.
good name.
Great
Nice one,
name.
Nick.
Great name. It shall be known as Heart Piercer. All right. That brings us to the Nomish gifts. Would anyone like the Cloak of Resistance +1?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I
think
think
we all
everyone
All right.
wants
want
that
one.
Sounds like
That's
everybody
too
would
good
like
to
this
pass
one.
up.
Let's all roll D100s for it.
But it is attunement, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh
Not
my
me.
goodness.
Ah, there it is.
Wow.
Look at that.
Hard to beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Hart, it looks like you have a Cloak of Resistance +1 and fire resistance. Would anyone like a pouch of almonds?
Can we give
No.
that away for rep as well? That would
No.
be great.
No,
this
You've
pouch of
already
almonds.
gained.
Goes.
You've already gained 10 rep from giving
Yes.
away items,
Yeah.
so you won't
Yeah.
be able to gain any more rep that way.
This pouch of
Fizzle.
almonds, does it ever deplete?
No,
Then
it
yes,
is an
I want
endless
to roll
pouch
on
of
it.
almonds.
Yeah, then I'll roll on it too.
Oh.
Is it what's it called? Attunement?
No, it is yours.
Listen, everyone should get in on the almonds. It's the most important magic item. Come on.
Dude, it's free food.
I can't take this. I have to give this a Fizzle and his alliance with the squirrels. And he
Yep, there it is. This will be the Squirrel King's pouch.
All
at some
right,
point.
Shadow, please
be worth
take
like
a
100
pouch of almonds. Would anybody like to lay claim to the scholar's outfit?
I have a quick question about the outfit. You can't wear armor together with it, right?
It would replace your armor slot. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll pass anyway. I can't wear it anyway.
Okay.
I would
Looks
to-
like Shadow,
to
it's
claim it.
yours. Please take the
Nice.
scholar's outfit.
I will forego any.
Technically,
roll
it
on
would
the curse
improve
book
my spellcasting modifier, but I don't care.
As much as the idea of a curse book that Saints take on me is an amazing and awesome gnome item, I will pass on it because I picked up too much stuff.
Okay.
Who's going after that?
Would anyone like the cursed book of magic?
I have a question about that.
Yep.
I have the spell, or I will learn the spell remove curse. If I cast it on the item, will it remove the curse and make it usable?
You'll have to find out.
All right, I think I'll take that risk.
Okay.
Or that gamble, so to speak.
I'll leave.
I'm gonna lay claim to it too, because I have to give it to Fizzle Spark, even though he doesn't want it. Listen, anything to make you a better distraction, you know?
This is true.
Oh boy.
I'll let it pass.
All right.
I take it and give it to Fizzle Spark. This is for you. You did an
Oh my
excellent
gosh.
job there. Just keep being you, you know?
In exchange, I will give you the grappling hook. As a rogue, you have a better use for it than I.
All right.
All right.
All right. That is all of our items, XP, gold, and reputation. Thank you all for playing with me. I hope you had a wonderful time. Big shout out to Twitch chat for hanging out. We will be back with more of this next week. And hopefully some streams of just video games between now and then. I was slammed this week and didn't get to any, but the plan is to have some more of that, hopefully a little bit more consistently on the channel. Have a great rest of your day, night, week, whatever it is till I see you again. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace, everybody.
Bye. Thanks again.